Is there anything I'm missing out? But I want to thank God, and I also want to thank my dad. He's late now, but he used to tell me while growing up that people are not always going to be there for you. You should learn to be strong for yourself, and whatever it is that you have, nobody can take it away from you.
Wonderful.
In my group, sometimes when we have some conversation, what some women take, what they go through, these things are something that they are not commendable. And the moment they chose to leave, I realized that the real them come out. Like they start looking good, blooming, doing well, doing what they cannot do while they are in that man's house. So as a single person, I usually ask myself, what exactly did we do wrong, or are we doing wrong? Is it that the moment you become a missus, you just forget yourself? Because I have friends that when they were single, they are doing well as a single person. They are handling business, they do different kind of business, they have money. Then, because I have different example, then before you know it, they'll start calling you, please, can you send me recharge card? Please, can you do this? Then I'll call them. If you ask them, they'll be like, if I have money, I would have left this relationship. So most times, the moment the financial aspect of your life is not strong, and a man knows that they can use that to deal with you, you are going to learn the hard way. That is why you see when women who are strong financially, it is very easy for them to realize that this thing I can no longer take it. They just pack their things and they leave.
So you don't feel a woman actually has to wait for a man to be doing?
No.
Okay.
As a woman, even before you say yes to anybody, if you don't love yourself, and if a man knows that you cannot do without him, he's going to treat you that way.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, when she was giving her speech, you remember that she said her dad. And the reason why I'm going back there is that women, married, single, divorced, widow, whatever status you are right now, there is always a man in the picture. Maybe not the man you are thinking, maybe not the man you are assuming should be, not the way you were dreaming it to be, but there is always a man in the picture. And sorry, I had to infuse this to remind us. The thing is, you need to know who is that man in that picture, pushing you, helping you, supporting you. Most people is their father, most people is their husband, some uncles, brothers, some bosses, some is just one nice man out there who just believe in the potential that you carry. So just know that God has prepared somebody to guide you. However, it may not be the way you are dreaming. The person might not just be putting down money and say, you know what, I got you every time. But the person might be someone who will say, you know what, why don't you try that training or that course? Why don't you go there? Why don't you get a job again? So please, when you have men around you, censor it and try to know what does this man bring on board for you. Because if you're truthful and honest to yourself about it, you will be able to maximize that opportunity without feeling depressed and feeling helpless. All right? So that being said, this session is going to help us through a few things. And one of it is identity. And she has just justly said that she discovered her own identity with her father's nudging, right? Not, the way most ladies in her generation would have done it, the soft life, not exactly the soft life, please. Soft life is, I don't know, maybe you have different opinion about it, but yeah, not everything will be soft. So we're going to be defining identity, discovering identity. We're also going to be moving into transition. When you have pressure all around you, how do you move from pressure to grace? How do you overcome challenges? How do you let it shape you? These wonderful women have been shaped through tough times. We're also going to be, delving into purpose, faith. You are going to see that coming up and every now and then in the conversation because it has a role to play. We are also going to be looking at what becoming really means, at least in this generation, in this time and space, 2026, going into the future. What does becoming means to a woman. So those are the things we're going to be touching on. All right, so please be expectant. In all this conversation, make sure that you take away all the things I've listed. Identity, transition, managing pressure, purpose, faith, and then becoming. So make sure you take it away today, all right? So, that being said, I'm coming to my wonderful panelists again. So women have different journey, and it's not two journey are the same. Not even for twins. Not for sisters. In this journey, how do you begin to identify your own direction apart from others? She has rightly said that she saw some women who are active as singles, but then they got married and they became something else. How do you, navigate that identity and held on to it despite, the phases you have been through? And I'm going to throw that question to Mrs. Edem and then Mrs. Olatoye. So let me start from Mrs. Olatoye first. Age first. Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for coming around. I want to say thank you to the organizers. I'm so excited to be here. I will say a lot about myself because I know I was raised by a strong woman. We are 6 girls in my...
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm the 4th child. So my grandmother too had 6 girls, 6 women. So 6, 6, and coming to us 6. So my daddy was very quiet, a gentleman to the core. So my mom was the daddy and the mommy. She acted like the man and the woman of the house. So I grew up being a self-motivated person. Because most of the time I see my mom take all the decisions, all the major decisions in the house. And my dad will say, if it's okay for you, you can go.
Interesting.
Even when you are faced with a very tough decision, my daddy still wants you to go back and think and make decision on yourself. But my mom will impose a decision on you. You are going to UI. You are studying this course. So I grew up like that. Yeah. And when I was growing up, I didn't like it. Because most of the things that I did when I was growing up, I was forced to do it. I didn't like it. But at the end of the day, the Bible says all things will work together for your good. All the things that my mom forced me to do, most of the things I'm enjoying now is because she forced me to do those things then. So I didn't find it difficult to take decision on myself, alone. I didn't find it difficult to do things. I don't need you to motivate me to. I can motivate myself. If I say I want to go to Ghana tomorrow, I will just carry my bag and go. So I grew up like that. Wow. So when I got married, I thought, before I got married, one thing I told God is, I said, God, I want somebody to think for me. I want somebody to make decisions for me. It's so difficult to make decisions about issues of life, especially when other people are involved. So I felt that, okay, when I get married, okay, the man will take the decision, so I don't need to bother myself.
So wait, sorry to cut you. You mean after being through, women will take decision? You prayed, you want someone to take decision?
Yes, I was tired.
Wow, okay.
I was afraid that maybe when I get married, I will make wrong decisions.
Okay.
So and I prayed, I said, God, give me someone that is older than me that will help me to make decisions. And God said, why do you want to marry someone that is older than you? I said, the person will take care of me and he will make all the decisions. And God said, Mommy, I will give you...
a soft life.
Yes, I wanted a soft life.
You want a soft life? Okay.
So when my husband came to propose to me, already we've been friends, so it wasn't easy for me to say no. It was easy for me to say yes. And I was, please, how old are you? He said, I want to, why you ask her? I said, your year. He said, I was born in 1969. I said, Mugbe. I was born in 1968. So I was like, oh my God, I told you to give me someone that's 10 years older than me. This person, I'm older.
Wow.
But I submitted. And I realized that my husband started behaving like my father. When we want to do something, say, hey, let's discuss it. So at the end of the day, the decision making came back to me. And I realized that at the beginning of our marriage, and I began to pray. I said, God, there's no two marriages that are exactly the same. None. that I'm sorry to say that I really don't go to marriage seminars like that, because people have different opinions, they have different personal issues that want to pass down. I remember there was a time we went for a marriage marriage seminar, and the pastor said everybody must have joint account. And I was like, joint account? Me, I want to buy things. And my husband was like, no. So when the time to ask questions, my husband stood up and said, well, I like your presentation, but for us, we won't do joint account, because I know my wife is not good with money. She can go somewhere and she sees somebody poor, she can empty her account, but I won't do that. And because it's not money that brought us together, it's not money should not separate us.
Yeah.
So I think, so that's the kind of man I got married to. So I realized that at the beginning of the marriage, I started praying for wisdom. I prayed for every day, so give me wisdom in this marriage. Give me wisdom in this marriage. When I'm about to take tight decision, I always pray, God, I will not make mistake.
Amen.
I will not make mistake.
Thank you.
So that's been my journey.
Thank you very much. I mean, that's a lot of things brought to surface. Come on, a round of applause, please. It's not easy to be using your story as an example. How many of you can share your story like that? Wow. So she moved from knowing who she is, her identity, a strong woman who is strong enough to take decisions, from the lineage of women that have been taking decisions, and then she wanted to change it. And then we'll see how faith plays a role, faith in God, and what she got at the end of the day. And she's still looking gorgeous. Thank you very much. Mrs. Hedem,
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
your journey?
So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, women.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thank you
We're happy to have you any day.
our President Loretta for putting together this beautiful event. The decoration, the hall is so beautiful. As soon as I entered, because we come here for church on Sundays, and to see the transformation, the lights, so kudos to everybody who put this up. You are already walking in your true glory. So
Clock it.
to
Thank
your
you.
question, what's my journey?
Yeah, what's your journey? We're saying
How
every
did I
woman's
discover-
journey is not the same.
Yes.
How did you manage your identity
Yes.
through the different phases, through
Phases
being
of my
the,
life.
where you are right now? How did you hold on to it?
So, childhood plays a very critical role. And as the earlier speakers have said, they've already also alluded to their childhood. This is why families are very defining in the life of children, because they are the first mirror we see. So, similar to you, ma'am, I grew up, surrounded by very strong women. I'm from an ethnic heritage, the Calabar woman, So I come from a lineage of very strong Calabar women. And in my case, uniquely, sadly, I lost my father very early. So I had a widowed mother who took up that responsibility. Now, she had to transition careers because she was initially in TV production and then had to move to lecturing so that we could retain our accommodation on the university campus. My grandmother was a divorcee. Now, mind you, this is dating back to times where women did not divorce, right? I didn't say my mother, I said my grandmother. So my grandmother, and her mother before her, not divorcee, because then divorce was not what they just separated, right?
Separate.
But her own reason was because she had all girls. And so the man didn't want, only daughters. So worked out on them. So I was born into a family with that story. That our grandfather left, this was the story my mother and all her siblings used to tell all of us, that their grandfather left their grandmother because she had only girls. And so their grandmother determined to prove to him and the entire Calabar that girls and daughters can be something in life, right? She trained all her daughters, all of them, except her first daughter, who happened to be my immediate grandmother. So I'm talking about my great-grandmother. All her daughters went through formal education. We knew them as ma nurse, ma teacher, ma this, and the last born was ma doctor.
Wow.
The only one who didn't have a vocation was her first child, who had to leave early to, help raise the others. So she became a seamstress. So she had a vocation, she didn't have a formal vocation. So this is my ancestry, right?
Wow.
Now, growing up with that, that's telling the child something. There's no way you are hearing that. And even if you are not articulate, even if they're not saying the end of this lesson is that you must be this. Something is being communicated to that child
Exactly.
who hears
Yeah.
that story repeatedly. I knew that I had to be an achiever, coming from that kind of lineage. Now, I lost my father early, like I said. I saw my mother step in. Again, it's when I became an adult that I understood what all those things mean, right? I just saw a woman raise children, as far as I know, who would take multiple jobs. My mother was working, in lecturing. She was lecturing in 3 universities.
Wow.
She would be traveling to Bowen in Iwo in the mornings. So my mother was like a crazy human being
Wow.
to raise her 4 children. Now, I went to an only female school, an only girls' school, Queen's College, Yaba. Auntie Adria and I always laugh about it, right? So in my secondary school, there were no boys. So that's why I like how you started with the story of, the virtuous woman. Because
Yeah.
this is not even about, it's now, as an adult, I started understanding the world as a binary. Okay, there's a man. Look,
And a
I just
woman.
grew up with the concept of what is your potential? I don't want to know
You're just
what is the boys. That's
responsible.
not my business. My mother and everybody in my family, what is your potential? That's the way that's the word I was introduced to. If this is your potential, how do you nurture it so that you can flourish in that potential? What
Interesting.
level of discipline must you put in? In my secondary school, girls led assembly, girls played drums, girls did everything, right? So that was my normal. That was my normal. I woke up with compound, like you cut grass. So there was nothing like, oh, this is the role for the boys.
Okay.
I don't know that. I didn't grow up like that, right?
Interesting.
If the place has to be kept clean and you're only girls, you've got to do it, right?
So if you see a snake and you're the only
you
girl,
kill it. Yes.
Okay.
When it's time for bedtime, we're the
Interesting.
ones that we will be beating the gong. If you see the gong that we used to beat.
Uh-huh.
So we cooked. So, this idea that there were certain roles, domesticated roles, is something I came to encounter later. Now, even growing up in my home, apart from secondary school, all of us did the chores. I washed cars. The only difference is I didn't change tires because I wasn't interested. But my sister loved those things.
Okay.
So she changed tires.
How did you maintain those identity as a married woman?
Maintaining it as a married woman
Yes.
now, good. Because marriage becomes a point of tension.
Yes, that's what she said.
It becomes a point of tension, right? Now, when I was getting married, I had, by that time, I had encountered culture. And I had seen that culture was raising boys very differently from how I was being raised. So I was very intentional. I was looking for somebody who was very counterculture.
Okay.
I was actively looking
Okay.
for somebody
Okay.
who was a deviant, who was a deviant, who didn't, comply with these, because I knew that there would be friction. I'm not raised that way. In fact, I was not one of those girls that were looking to marry. No, I got married at
I bet
quarter
they
to
begged
30.
you.
I'm
They
not,
begged you
no,
like,
I'm not,
Eden,
I'm not
please leave the
diminishing
house.
anybody. I'm just explaining to you. And then I grew up in a home. My mother did not trouble me.
Okay.
Right? I didn't grow up in a home where people pressure daughters to marry.
Okay.
So all of this, I'm trying to give you a background of my world.
Interesting.
So in that kind of construct, my mother was looking for, when I left my job in Lagos and I said I wanted to transition to, the non-profit space, I wanted to do community work. All my mother wanted to see was, what's your plan? What's your strategy? How will this succeed? How will this, So she wasn't, I had a car. She was never worried about it will chase away boys, it will chase away men. I just later started hearing all those things. Do you understand?
So you have the independent mindset from the scratch, and then you maintain it.
And I saw women
And
live
you
in marriages like
intentionally went
all
for a
my
man.
aunties were independent. So I don't know this one of, if you have it,
Interesting.
you chase away men. All these funny things, right?
Interesting.
The only reason why my mom, I want to believe they would have stayed together is because my dad passed away. So, but in that, I told you she was a TV producer. She was in one of the most controversial sectors, media. She was on screen. People have apparently stereotypes about women on television. But this was a woman married with children who was on television, right? And it
Yeah.
wasn't a problem. She used to work at night. Like, she wouldn't come home until 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yes, this was the kind of mother I was setting I was raised in. So anyway, now come to marriage. All my years in the university, I studied a course, law, which is a very empowering course. Law gives you voice. Law encourages voice. Law sets women up in Nigerian constructs for, tense marriages.
Wow.
Yeah, because you see, when you marry, they'll come and say, you like to argue. This is not a law court. This is not a law court. So these are the kinds of things that you better be careful the kind of person you pick, the partner you pick. And also be prepared. Even when you think you have done all the searchlights, to beam the searchlights, to pick the person you think is the right person.
I was about to go there.
you will still meet it. You will still encounter
Exactly,
it. There will
okay.
still be, because the person has been socialized within an environment. The system has done its work on him. So even though they are trying to be open, you will meet instances where, do you understand, they bend in the direction that culture has molded them in. But you've got to see, I don't want this to be a discussion about marriage. This is a discussion about, and the theme is about purpose. It's about, you want us to shine in the world, right? God, when he was building all of us, gave us capabilities.
Okay. Yes.
He didn't say this vessel is female, so therefore reduce. He didn't say, he gave you, your responsibility is to find it, discover it, and walk in it.
Wow.
Build it, nurture it, you know. The minute you wake up to that understanding, that is your own morning, as they say. So in the university, I started discovering myself early because I was reading certain books. I was reading John C. Maxwell's. I was consuming all those kinds of books that are talking about purpose-driven, you know, leadership, all those kinds of things. They were putting me in certain, you know. I was also taking up leadership positions in my school, in my university. At some point, I was the vice president of 3, you know, societies. I was vice president of Law Student Society, vice president of, you know, United Nations Youth Association. So many things.
So you
Is it that kind of person? Do you understand? Is it that kind of person that you come and put in a home? And then you not tell her, shut up.
Okay.
You will have problems with me.
Interesting.
You will have problems with me.
Interesting.
So these are the issues. So a partnership or a marriage has to be built on, what will God use this marriage, what does God want to use this marriage to accomplish in the world? That is where two people will then submit their strengths under that question. What does God want to use this marriage as a vehicle to accomplish in the world? It's the same way we give up our power to a governor or to a president. Because we believe that when we coexist together, our destiny, in a shared destiny, our future is brighter than if all of us are advancing independently of each other. So that is why under a marriage, one person begins to submit their strengths under another person. And it's both ways, right?
Okay.
Because even the leader will then submit, will open up the forum for, what do you call it? Dialogue. Discussion.
Yeah.
Because you want the buy-in of your partner as well.
Thank you very much. That's a whole lot. A round of applause, please.
Thank you.
That's a whole lot. You see the passion exuding from her, like, I did this, I did that, I was this, I was that. That tells you she's as vibrant as she was as a single woman, and as she is now as a married woman. And she has 2 daughters, by the way. So I can imagine the fire, going through those girls right now. Thank you very much. And I love the fact that you said the 2 people, even when you have scouted and you have intentionally chosen a partner, you still encounter culture, molding, culture influence in your marriage, in your partner, and then you summarize it to the point whereby the 2 of you have to agree and submit to the higher purpose of that marriage. Yeah. And I think this speaks to a lot of singles. When Ms. Yesunde was talking earlier on, she said women were vibrant and then they got married and something changed. And she said something, that women marry for different reasons. So my key takeaway from the 2 of them here is that a woman should think of, why am I actually going into marriage? Am I ready to live through the purpose of that marriage? Or am I looking for that marriage to work for me? So those things are very critical. That will shape the way you go into that marriage, the person you choose, and how you live out that marriage. And then they've talked about a woman who are divorces in the days where divorce looks like something from the American movies. Yet the women who are separated. So you see, this problem is not today. It didn't start today. I mean, women are at vantage point, if I will say it, right now. Because she said something. Law is like giving women more advantage, more voice. And I was about to say that maybe every woman who know how to argue should go and become a lawyer. But that's just a joke anyway, on the lighter mode. So thank you very much for all those you have shared. And I believe women are taking something great out of it. But one key thing in business, in career, a woman has to come to a point where they struggle with their biology. You don't understand what I mean by biology. Biological clock, body changes. I talked about menopause while I was doing the introduction. They have to struggle through menstrual cycle. Yeah. They have to struggle through pregnancy. They have to struggle through menopause. And, even being a grandmother You know, it's different things. So I'll come to mommy and then I'll come back to you so that you can also tell us what you're thinking ahead. How were you able to pass through your most difficult, challenging times, like maybe when you are having a baby and you're still keeping a career and you're growing your business? How were you able to do that?
Thank you. I have a very interesting story, and I believe that it will bless all of us. I got married at the age of 28.
Okay.
I got married as a virgin, and I thought the first night that you sleep with your no, that was not the message.
I know. Just remember it.
Yes. So I thought when you sleep with a man, you get pregnant immediately. Yes, I thought, yeah, I'm sure now. So first year, no pregnancy. Second, third, fourth, fifth. And I was like, I didn't know I would stay this long. So, but the second year, when I got married, I did a scan, and they said I have fibroid. So they did fibroid operation, and the doctor told me that in 6 months you conceive and you have your children. So 5 years after, I did it. In summary, I've gone through 4 operations, 4 fibroids, and 3 babies.
Wow.
And God
Wow.
kept me.
Wow. Thank God.
So if I want to say that you as a person, it's you. God is not saying Mr. and Mrs. Because each time I'm entering the theater, they will ask my husband to sign. It's not him that is entering the theater, it's me. So my own prayer is even more than his own prayer. So when he is signing, me, I'm in my heart, God, I'm going, I'm coming back. So I went through that. 4 operations. Each time they want to bring out the baby, they will say there's a fibroid that can we remove it? I said, pay remove, we'll pay for it. So after the 4th operation, and in between, I didn't have a steady job. Businessman, I would do this, do that, do that. He was in the bank, you know. So I was struggling with so many things. You know, when you don't have a child in this part of the world, there are some places you won't go. You won't go to school because you don't have any child to pick or to do. So I didn't know what happens in schools. So when I now gave birth, I now realized there's Parents Teachers Association. You know? I now realized that I have to do homework. So, but for that period, you know, when I had my first child 5 years after marriage, I thought the second one would come. The second one did not come until 4 years after.
Wow.
And when I was praying, God said I should start Bible club. So I started teaching children. After 4 years, my second baby came. Then 2 years after, when I had the first girl and the boy, second, I told God, I don't want again. I'm fine. So I didn't know. 2 years after, I got pregnant, and I went to the hospital that I want to do family planning. And the nurse told me that if they don't see blood, they will not do family planning for me. I didn't know I was already pregnant. And that time, we were in Lagos, we moved to Akure. So I shuttled between Lagos and Akure. I traveled a lot. And when I was told I was pregnant, I started crying. Me that was looking for a baby before. Now I have, I started crying. It was really a blow for me because almost all my businesses were in Lagos and I was in Akure. So it means that I won't be able to travel. Yes, as I should.
Wow.
So my income at that time dropped. Income is important. If you don't have money, you have peace of mind though.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So I was struggling with it, with that. And meanwhile, my husband was happy. And I was like, you are happy. My income has dropped. I can't do my business the way I want to do it. And, you know, so those are some of the challenges. But if you are a multi-talented or hardworking lady, you always find a way out. We left, when we got married, we were in Lagos. We moved from Leyaba to Ibejuleki. You know, bankers. My husband left Ibejuleki to Akure. I moved from Ibejuleki to Akure. So I was changing everything, changing friends, changing everything. I had all my clients, I left them in Lagos. I went to Akure. I started all over again. But in the midst of all this, I always pray to God, God, my light must shine. I know what I carry. I know who I am. So when we were in the forest in Akure, that time internet was not even was not popular. I was applying for almost everything. One day I said, God, I'm tired of this place. You know, when you are in an environment, everybody, they are going like this, you are going like this. So I always find myself, I say, why am I here? But I always tell God I'm not going to complain. I'll be thanking him. And I filled the form.
Okay.
And lo and behold, I got a scholarship to go to Netherlands from our village in Akure. So when I went to Netherlands for few weeks, I was happy. I discovered myself. I knew when I got there, about 53 countries all over the world came. 2 of us came from Nigeria.
Wow.
And the last minute, the last day, they called me out and said for the first time in the history of Netherlands government, they have never invited somebody from the private sector before doing agriculture. That I was the first person to be invited because I was doing urban agriculture. Thank you. Urban agriculture, it's not common. You know, farming in the city. I started the move. When I submitted my MSc thesis in Lagos, and I told my supervisor, I'm going to start an NGO promoting urban agriculture. My supervisor said, no, there's nothing about urban agriculture. You better do something around rural agriculture. But because of where I'm coming from, raised by a stubborn woman, so I was like, no, that's what I want to do. I want to do urban agriculture.
Wow.
But nobody was talking about urban agriculture. But when the Netherlands government saw what I was doing in that space, they said, okay, for the first time, let's break our role for this lady. Let's bring her over to Netherlands.
Wow.
So when they told me that the last day, I was happy and I was more determined to continue.
Wow.
So everything I'm doing now, it's all about farming in the city, and it's been so rewarding and good for me.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
if I've leaned on my husband that, oh, my husband is a banker, he has lost his job, blah, 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 I won't be able to. But I discovered myself.
So through the pain, you discovered yourself.
Yes.
And you went for it all the way.
Yes, we
So I
went
think
for
this is for ladies out there. I don't know what pain you are going through right now. But please, this is not the time for you to give up. This is the time for you to reinvent. The time for you to pick up again and put enough intensity to do what you are meant to do. You don't know who is waiting for you, where your applaud is waiting for you. Her applaud was waiting for her in Netherlands. And she did that. She broke that. I mean, by the virtue of you breaking that cycle, you opened the door for a lot of women in the private sector for such an opportunity. So when you are a woman and you are going through stress, you are going through pain, and you think that is the end of it, that might be the shaper, what God intended to shape you and to liberate other women going through the same or who will go through the same as you have. So please, for your sake and for their sake, pick up the pace again and throw yourself back at work. Throw yourself back at purpose. Throw yourself back at what God has convinced you that you are meant to do and to be. And that is what the message of becoming from our story. So we're not at the end yet. We still have more interesting stories to share. So I'm coming to Ms. Yetunde, right? You've heard the experience of this married woman. Combine to your own. I know you have a lot of stories to tell. So when you are looking at becoming her, what exactly does it speak to you, and what would you like to communicate to other women out there?
Okay, thank you. For me, I think becoming her is all about purpose and faith. When you believe and when you know what God actually wants you to do. Because in society where, you know, people don't really believe in, when you believe in yourself, people tend to put you down. But it's important as a woman that you know what you want and what you believe in.
I want to take you on that. Tell us a story of an experience you've had, because I know you have had experience that you're trying to. Don't worry, just tell us and let us learn from it.
Okay, so when some years back, after my secondary school and I was looking for admission, I had always wanted to study mass communication. So, but I tried JAMB like 4 times. Nothing happened. So my dad now said maybe I should go to Polytechnic and go and study business administration. So when I now went to SRK to study business administration, while doing that, I will leave school and go to a radio station. Because what they asked me to go and do, it was not what I want to do. But when I prayed to God, God said that what I am going to do in your life will have nothing to do with your certificate.
Thank God.
So I'll go to radio station. I'll learn how to write news. I'll learn how to edit. I'll learn how to, in church, I joined a media department.
Okay.
They taught us how to handle camera, how to do editing, how to
Okay.
do all of that. So I already have an idea of mass communication. What I want to do, I already have an idea, even though I was not in that field.
Okay.
So after, when I left Polytechnic, then I was posted to Nasarawa. When I got to Nasarawa State, the man that attended to us that was doing the posting, then the man now asked me that where would I love to serve? I now said I would love to serve in Nasarawa Broadcasting Service. And the man was like, you studied business administration, that they will not take me. I said, okay, let me give it a try. Let me just go. So the man gave me a letter. When we got there, Nasarawa Broadcasting Service said they are just going to take 5 coppers
Okay.
because it's a big
Broadcasting house.
broadcasting service, that they
Okay.
are going to take 5. So when we got there, and I was talking to the GM, and the first question the GM asked was that, what are you doing here? We are only looking for people who have an idea in mass communication and all
Okay.
of that. And the GM asked, he said, what can you do? We know we study business, but what can you do?
Okay.
And because it's a TV and radio, I said, I can handle camera very well.
Wow.
And the man said they should take me to their studio, that they should go and test if truly I can do what I said I can do.
Okay.
So when we got there, I met big cameras. They were not like the kind of cameras that I've
you
handled
trained
in.
with?
But during the training, they've taught us that to be a good cameraman, you must learn how to zoom in, zoom out, pan left. And so when I saw the camera, I just did what the experience that I had. And the man that was supervising, and the man was so, in the
Impressed.
north, when they see that you are a woman and you are doing what men are doing,
do.
they were so impressed. So the man now took me back to the GM that she can handle camera very well. We can take her. That was how they took me. And it was just, we were like 47.
Wow.
And it's just 5 coppers.
Wow.
And when I went back and I told them, the man was like, which jazz did you use? Because
Wow.
as a copper, they were paying me. I had free access. Everything that I thought that being a business administrator would not help me to achieve, I did not know that God is already preparing a place for me.
you.
So sometimes as a woman, in trying to becoming who you are, there are so many things that might happen along the
Along the
line.
way.
But if you keep faith and you already know what you want to do, trust me, no matter what comes your way, it will happen. So when I got back to Ibadan, I started with radio station. I know that I don't want to be a broadcaster. I don't just want to do that. In fact, I don't even want to be. I also want to. I've always wanted to be an editor. Write. I know how to write very well. So after that, I said, okay, let me go and try print media. Whether they are going to take me, and I try it. I become a reporter, and in 2 years, I became a senior reporter.
Wow.
They gave me my own page for women,
Wow.
and people were like, before you can have a page in Tribune, you would have spent like 10 years before they can
But the
give you a
light
page.
shines.
But that was what I have always wanted to do right
Okay.
from time. And with God's help, God has already guided my steps
Yeah.
in becoming. So in becoming her, I realized that with faith, patience, and knowing who you are, everything is going to work out. It
Thank
might
you
not be
very
the way
much.
you plan, but the way God
God,
has
the way
already
God. Thank you
planned for
very much. A round of applause again. You know, the passage that came to my mind is, see a man diligent at his work, he will stand before kings and not before mean men. And you speak actually to the younger generation, because some of them are lost, honestly speaking. Some are very, very, depressed simply because they cannot fathom where they are and where they are going. They don't see the line crossing. They can't begin to picture, okay, so this is where I am and that's my dream. How do I get from here to there? But the truth of the matter, as she has said, is that everything works together for good. And the Bible confirms it. For them that loves the Lord and are called according to his purpose, all things work together for good. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, just trust God. She applied faith, talk to God more, and do whatever it is in your hand diligently. Do it diligently and watch it pave way for you. Might not be where you're going. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people that say, oh, daddy wants me to be a lawyer or a doctor, so, and then after they are done, they're like, yeah, daddy, take a certificate, and then I'm a musician, I'm a rock star, I'm this and that. It's all good, but you could not rule out the fact that that journey has a role to play. That network, that experience, it all has a role to play, pivoting you to where you are meant to be. When you see it, when you begin to actualize it and live through it, you're like, oh yeah, so this is why God made me go through this. So please, despise not the days of small beginning. Where you are now, just embrace it and let God guide you. Let your resilience, let your passion, let it drive you. So, we're going to be doing some takeaways now. We're very close to our time slot. And we've established identity. We've established identity through pain and through pressure. We've established that. What again have we established? Audience, do you have any question? Is there any question from the audience or any contribution? So all of us here now, we already know what it takes to become a, oh yeah. Please, can I have a mic for her, please? A round of applause. That's wonderful. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Women to women.
Yeah.
A mic for you, ma.
Okay, that we're talking about women. Let's leave them out because I think, like she rightly said, if we know who we are, like who you are, and you see, one thing that I think they've not mentioned is that one you said while you were here when doing introduction. When we are like this, sometimes some of us are weak. And of course, most of us are vulnerable at some point.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody that you can call and say, I'm feeling this way, I think that is what is missing now. Because we
Okay.
have a lot of competition.
Okay.
I'm thinking that she's a lawyer. I cannot, or if I call her, she will not cuckoo pick my call. Let me just die. Or let me just, take it in. I think that's the part becoming her should also be included.
Address, yeah.
That, is also in the Bible, book of Titus chapter 2, 3-4. Older women
We guide the younger ones.
guiding the younger
Exactly.
ones. And these things are no more. I'm sorry, I believe they are no more.
It's still-
Because, no. In the olden days,
Well-
I was raised as a Muslim girl. But when I came to Christ in 1990, we had people that, when you don't feel like praying, you just say, that there was no call then, but you can talk to someone and say, I don't feel like praying. Something is wrong with
Holding
me.
me down.
You can, you are not feeling that fire that you feel as, scabaching. And then the person said, you hold hands. How many times do you see people holding hands? People are holding phone now, not hands anymore. And that is affecting us as women.
Okay.
We don't have confidence in talking to each other.
Thank you.
I can always go to Mrs. Olatoye
Thank you.
and talk to her.
Thank you.
I think that point, we need to bring it back.
Thank you very much. Thank you. A round of applause for her, please. I think she has hit a very vital chord. And trust me, I will let you. Does anybody want to respond to that?
Yeah,
or
let me
justice?
do that.
Yeah.
It's actually perfect because I wanted to even acknowledge, a role model of mine who walked in when you were taking the first round of questions.
Okay.
Auntie Fusha Adegbola,
Oh.
who is the founder and proprietor of the Vale College, and just an all-round superstar.
Wow.
And, one
Yes,
of the
sir.
most amazing, accessible
Wow.
women.
Wow.
So it's a perfect segue into your question because I wanted to address it. I agree totally that we thrive. No woman wants to succeed in isolation. And this is something that often, even this debate, this whole gender war, has really thrown up. This idea that feminism is sort of, balkanizing us or making us, to distance ourselves from the men. The average woman, and I speak, well, maybe let me not be presumptuous, but if you want to put us on the spectrum of feminism, I rank as a feminist. Yes, and I know this is a church setting, but when you break down the real meaning of feminism, I rank that way, right? But I don't want to succeed in isolation. I would love to do it with a partner. I would love to succeed with family. I would love to succeed amidst community. I would love to, and this is intergenerational. This is a woman who always reaches out. Like even 2 weeks ago, as very recent as that, she connected me to somebody. Say, hey, them. Well, every time I hear libraries, I hear smart this, I think of you. She's always connecting me to people.
Wow.
If I'm working on anything, I'm sharing it. I'm just tossing it on her WhatsApp. Auntie Fusho, or she's on my status. She's on all her youngies, all her smallies, their status. Check it out, So there are people
That's
who
wonderful.
really take up that responsibility,
Okay.
understanding that they have to nurture the next generation. I think we have to be very intentional about finding them. I think that if you think, by default, it will come automatically, that may be a challenge. You're fortunate you have a boss like her who can cross between, you're not just dealing with her as a boss in the job sense. You can relate with her on various other topics, family and whatnot, right? So automatically she's transitioned from just a boss to a mentor, to an older sister. We have to find those people.
Yeah.
The challenge I have with a lot of young people is you're moved by the appearance.
The height.
So, yes. So, for instance, in a setting like this now, or any other setting where we're invited to speak publicly, depending on how well you speak, and that's just speaking, public speaking, it's just oratorship. I what's the English, right?
Yeah.
Somebody, a young person, come and say, I want you to mentor me. Do you know the implication of that? Especially in a world where there's a smoke screen. What you see on social media is what I want you to see. I've reduced my life, like it's very scripted. It's very scripted. Our lives are messy, but I don't show the mess. We don't present the mess. It's an album, right?
Yeah.
Nobody puts their mess in an album. We put the nice looking sides of life. So when you see an individual for your little contacts, you like the way they look, you like the way they talk, you have to do deeper. You have to dig deeper. You have to interrogate we're all creatures in a life cycle. One of my first tasks when I see anybody of interest is I want to see your metamorphosis. What was your starting point? When you were the pooper, how did you move to the larva? How did you metamorphosize into that beautiful butterfly?
Yeah.
If I can't see the life cycle, I don't go near you to say, mentor me.
Wow.
People don't check the process. People don't investigate who is the individual behind, what's behind the scenes.
screen,
So this is something young people, please, don't be caught up in this whole, hey, shiny gold. Like, please, do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Let's see the organic flow. How did this person move from stage A to stage B? Then secondly, to parents and adults now, we present a very narrow bridge for young people to move them from, point A to point B in their lives.
Yeah.
I was fortunate.
Okay.
Maybe because of the reason of my circumstances growing up. You had to complement whatever my mom was giving us as pocket money.
Wow.
So I started working early, right? I remember all my jobs, I got them myself. I have never had anybody I've always I will walk up to, I'll just be looking at this and if I'm
love what
passing
I'm
like
hearing.
this, passing you call about passing, what do they do here? I like it. I will go and knock. I will say to the security, I want to see the manager. From the manager, I want to see the executive director. I'm a young girl in university. I'm in my first year. I saw the signboard saying this is what you do. I would like to meet the leader. I want to learn more and see how I can support what you do. That's how I got my first job. My second job when ASU was on strike, right? ASU was on strike. I landed on a ship. A vessel, an NNPC vessel in the middle of the ocean. And I was, I was trapped. And we took like 2 cabotage boats to get to the middle of that, to that high vessel. These are vessels that take barrels of oil, right, to different countries in the world through the Strait of Hormuz. So I ended up there. And then these sailors who had been locked on the vessel they just saw 2 fresh girls like this.
Yay.
Suddenly they signaled to our cabotage boat to disappear and leave. Do you know that I was on that boat? I was a 17-year-old girl.
My goodness.
Right? I was stuck on a boat, a vessel that took me 2 boats to get to.
Wow.
So of course I started calling all the prayers, this thing my father and mother taught me. But my point is, I was delivered, and also, you have to skillfully negotiate your way out of those scenarios, right? But my point is, that was my boot camp. If I hadn't had those opportunities to get into those scenarios,
so we
I
shouldn't
wouldn't
be
have
afraid.
you just send children and say, go to school, only school, no
Only
extracurricular, no jobs on the side, no peer exchanges, no nothing. Then you think they'll just evolve into somebody that's admirable. So you give them then you even think that even in that career or that discipline, that field that they're studying, there's variables there.
Yeah.
As a lawyer, you can be 2,100 possible things. How will you know if you never work in a law firm?
Yeah.
We're all beings having an earthly human experience,
Yeah.
right? And it's supposed to be, because life is a gift. So what do you do with a gift? You open it and you live, you unwrap it, you use it. Life is to be lived. So many people are not living. They are not living. You just woke up, you don't do this all. And then even the plant, nothing, you're not even absorbing the beauty around you. You know, so allow children explore. Allow children test. Do it under supervision, but
Thank
let
you.
them do it. That's the way they discover their calling.
Thank
That's
you
why you have
very
people
much.
write accidental public servant. Because in the place of exploring, you discover, oh, this is actually my niche. So this is the lesson to us as mothers.
Thank
and
you.
we too, it's not too late.
Thank
There are
you.
many people who
It's
at
not too late
60
too.
started afresh.
Thank you very
Press the
much,
reset
Ms.
button.
Eden.
Feel free to start afresh. Thank you.
That's
Sorry.
a whole lot. I mean, she's on fire every time she opens her mouth. She's like everywhere. Wow. Thank you so much, because the passion living through her is a testimony.
So why not discover that purpose that God has created you for and fulfill it?
Okay.
And I want to say that there are different sectors in this space that we can function in. There's education sector, there's health sector, there is entertainment.
Yes.
There's so many things that we can do. I remember when I was in secondary, when I was growing up, I wanted to become a doctor. So I was in science class. When my WAEC result came out, I had F9 in physics. So I knew that.
Science out the window.
So when I start again for the WAEC, I didn't even touch physics. I went to social, I stood in the middle, and I said, what can I do in this middle? But at the end of the day, at that time, when I said I wanted to become a doctor, I always like to help people. When I see people in pain, I want to care for them. I want to wipe away their tears. But my journey in life now take me back to nature, where I use my herbs, my garden, my food to help people heal. So life is not straight like this. Some of us, we have done so many businesses in our life before we discovered our purpose. I remember when I have done a lot of things, but now I'm in that space.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to venture into different
Things.
Yeah.
You'll be sorted out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for her. So I just want to recap or give you a closing in this way. A woman, just what Madam said when she was giving her contribution, talks about women needing women to be able to escape through pain, pressure, and the point where it becomes unbearable to bear alone, right? And she has rightly said something that at this age and time, we shield our children, we shield ourselves, because we don't want people to know us, to see us. And by shielding ourselves, we also block ourselves from what help, what resource that we could also get from out there. If you close like this, you can add more. If you open like this, you can get much more. So what a woman needs to do to become from what they have wonderfully contributed is to apply balance. And balance is everything. Even when you eat, you balance it. When you talk, you balance it. So knowing what requires your attention, knowing what requires your energy, knowing what is in line with your vision and your purpose, knowing what is in tandem with the phase where you are, that is how a woman applies balance to her life. So a woman who has become, will become through waiting. A woman who becomes through building. You become through outbreak. You become through fulfilling. You become through completing something. You don't become by just simply waking up and said, I am so, and putting an emblem or a title for yourself. You become through transitioning. Like she has said, what is the metamorphosis? What is the small beginning? What is the intermediate, the life crisis period? And then what is the end result? But for all of this becoming, we do that at our own pace and time. Through different age, through different circumstances, we don't arrive at the same time. So we're not going to be working with other people's timeline. But one good thing that the Bible has put for us is that we should incline our hearts to wisdom by numbering our days. So when you number your days and you're like, okay, I am here today. This is my new age and this is my time. I think it's a good time to also, reflect and think of this phase where I am now. What is next? What is God telling me? What have I put in my pot, in my purse, in my bags that I have picked along the way? Like she picked trainings. A multimedia training paved way for her to the dream she is aspiring. And her own experience as well. What is in that background? What is in my upbringing? What is in my experience? What is in my pain that I've put together for this age? And how can I transcend beyond here to become, to build, to do something different for the next phase? I think it's important that every woman sit and take a time every year to reflect and to plan moving forward. No one becomes by accident. You become by applying, all right? So you do that also, even through failure. You could do it. She said so. She tried some things and it failed, but then she moved on. She got pregnant, yes, she nursed her baby. You know, one thing I want to touch on quickly is the fact that most women, like you said, let's take marriage out of this. Agreed. We're talking about women, we're not talking about marriage. But a woman who is married should not forget that she's still in a marriage and she has to balance and carry that marriage along. Otherwise, the marriage will cease to be. So if you are lucky and you have the right marriage and you know you are in the right place, please embrace it and make it part of your journey. If things need to be readdressed, let God walk you through the process for that as well. But it is always sweeter when we are all together, in a family, like she said, in a group. So if you don't have support within that marriage or in your home, you could get support in a church like this, in a gathering like this. After this service, after this program, this event, we have groups, we have clusters, we have places where you can connect and get in touch with all of these wonderful women and the network of people that are here today, that you can always say, look, I have one challenge. Is there anybody here who can help me in this space or time? And you'll be sure you will get. But let's not shield ourselves from exploring opportunities or options, because in doing so, that is when we can get what we need. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you for being part of this with us. Thank you for this wonderful women. I want, please, a big round of applause. That you shine very well and give it to them for sharing from their vulnerability, sharing from their pain and their joy and their achievements. They have helped us now to move from one point to another. And I know that this point we're scaling is like experience of 20 years. We've just acquired it. So please go and use it to become something great and wonderful. Thank you very much. My name is Aderonke Titayi once again. And we're happy to be leaving you in good hands. Mrs. Odugbeson. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please be seated because our guests should also be able to ask for questions. Okay. Yes. So do we have questions? Hello. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And thank you to our speakers. Thank you all for coming. So do we have questions? Questions before they go? Okay. Okay, that's good.
Okay, thank you. My name is Nadine. I'm from Benin Republic. I do understand that this is not about marriage, but when you're married and you are unable to do things together, the man wants you to be completely under, while when you met, you were something. You were able to do things by yourself, and you were completely independent, you were successful, you were confident. But once you get married, the man wants you to be a servant. The man feels intimidated by your success. People you hang out with, the things you do. So how do you continue to become her? Because at the end of the day, when you do not do things that your husband is asking you to do, then it says that you are not submissive. It says that you are disrespectful. It says that you don't want to be married. So I heard all the stories, they are all beautiful, but these days it's difficult. You know.
So is that question addressed to a particular person or any of them can answer?
I would like them to answer. Because she's on fire. She probably would.
I will set myself up. hi Nadine. Thank you for your question. I remember I met you like 3 Sundays ago through our mutual friend. So the truth is, I'm not a marriage counselor. And so I'm not going to, represent myself as that, because you ask a very deep life question. A question that is really, when we're at a crossroads. Many people, when they got to that crossroads, they traded off. They made a choice, and in that choice, they let go of their God-given destiny. They let go of, their God-given purpose. So it's such a powerful crossroad, or very defining crossroad that you are at. My life journey, though filled with complexities in marriage, has not brought me to that same crossroad. I really, empathize with a woman in this, sharing this constraint that you have faced. Because I just imagine when you know you carry light. When you know you carry light, and somebody just says, stay under the bed, or stay buried. For me, I mean, I don't want to say things, because that's my enemy. That's my framing. This is me being personal now. That's my enemy, because what it means that thing so defining about my identity, you're crushing it. You're crushing it. And when I go and meet my maker, right? I will be, yes, so it's a very powerful question. I am not equipped to answer it. That's the honest truth. I'm not equipped to answer it. But please, I just want to say that because of how you recognize the definitive nature of that question, do everything. The way when you have a question you cannot answer in life. You go and meet an expert, you go and meet a mentor, you go and meet a this, you go and meet a prayer warrior, you go and meet a lot of people. When we're faced with a question we cannot answer by ourselves in life, we must seek the highest possible help to answer that question. I pray God will give you that kind of guidance.
Thank you
in
very
answering
much.
that question.
Yeah. Another question? Okay, but we're not done with her yet. Sorry, ma. We're coming to you.
She wants to answer the question.
Okay, thank you. I was about to...
I want to say my own experience. Okay. Then after, I'm sure I can talk. Okay. I just want to share my own story, and I don't want you to take it like that. I just want to share what happened to me. I married a very good man. My husband is good. He's a play person. He just wants to play. Me, I'm the serious type. I have a target, and I must meet my target. But he doesn't. He wants to play around. And I kept, and in my heart, I was just like, will this guy take me to where I'm going? And I realized that he just wants to play. That's his own nature. I can't blame him. I can't change him. Yeah, and he's not stopping me. He has never stopped me. So there was a time in the point of my life, I knew that I was dying inside. I was not happy. Something has taken away my joy. The Bible talks about the joy of the Lord being your strength. I lost my joy. I lost my strength. And I started asking myself, what do I do? The only thing I could do at that time is to run away from home. Please don't follow me. I'm just sharing my story. So I prepared my head. I said, I'm going to run away. I'm going to leave the city of Akure. I know it might be difficult for me to go back to Lagos, but I know that I will have a soft landing in Ibadan. I called my children and I told them, I'm going to leave Akure. Your daddy is not ready to leave. I'm going to leave. But that's not the end of this marriage. But I need to take a decision, and I prayed about it. So that day, I came for my friend's father's burial. I already told my children I'm not coming back. My daughter then was in Lead City. The last born was in JSS 2. So I told him, you are coming with me to Ibadan. The second born was in final JSS 3, so I couldn't move with him. But I already told him, and he said, Mommy, please go. So when I I came to Ibadan for the burial, and after 2 days, he called me, he told me, okay, so how was it? When are you coming back? I said, I'm not coming back. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'm not coming back to Akure. I need to face my life. He didn't believe it. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, told me what's going on. I said, I'm not coming. Go and tell everybody, I'm not coming back. That city is limiting me. I know what I carry. I know what I want to do. And in the midst of it, he didn't believe. I've never done that before. So he didn't believe, but I kept, when time it comes, I said, I hope you're okay. Have you eaten? Hey, I do the video of the garden. Okay, he likes to talk about plants. So I started
Walking him through it.
Yes, I would say that plant, please, I need it in Ibadan. Gradually, I established myself in Ibadan. Why am I saying that? Right now, if I've not gone ahead, it was God that arranged that I should go ahead of him. If I've waited for him, all of us will still be like, now, he's scheming. They won't tell you that we are. Hey, told me, please, I need an office in Ibadan. I said, hey, really? So right now, he has seen sense in that decision I took 3 years ago. My children are grateful. If I had my second boy said, Mommy, I would have been in Futa. There's nothing wrong in Futa. But what I'm saying is, they wanted a better life. But that environment could not give us what we wanted. So I needed to move on behalf of everybody. So that's my story. I don't know whether you have learned one or two things.
Okay, so as a single person, I also had an experience. Like 5 years ago, my ex, I realized that anytime we are talking, there was a time we were talking and I told him that I would love to go for my master's. So the second day he tried to call me, I missed his call. And when he called back, the first thing he said is that, is it because you are going for your master's now? That's why I'm calling you and you're not picking your calls. And I was like, Uncle, I've not even started though. I've not even, There was a time we went for a program together. And when I got there, I started greeting people and all of that. And it was like, so if I marry you now, that is how you will be greeting people. And they will be giving you an award. And I was like, hey. I left that relationship. In fact, it was that month I realized that this is not fair. Do you know the shocking part? Last year, I went for a program in Abuja. Trust me. He came. He got married to someone else. Then he came with his wife. And in a program like this, the wife said she wants to ask a question. Do you know the question the wife asked? How do you deal with a narcissist?
Dodge the bullet there.
How do you deal with a narcissist? I went to his Instagram page to check if is she truly his wife? The woman asks, how do you deal, like if you want to do something and the man is saying don't do it, how do you deal with it? And I was like, oh, so I would have been the one in this show asking, how do you deal with a narcissist? So sometimes, if you don't know who you are, or if you don't love yourself, people are going to treat you because they know that you don't have a life without them. They are going to treat you in that manner. They will cage you because you don't have a life. You are just following someone else's path. So if you have a life and you know that this is me, I cannot be this. No matter how long it takes, I will wait. I will do what I need to do. You will not mind even if the whole world chooses to walk away from you and become who you want to become. Thank you.
Okay, ma.
Okay, now I think the three of them have spoken the truth. And I'm very proud to be here. My cousin, Tommy and I are first cousins. My mother is the first child, her mother is the second child. So you see, we have it in our genes. My grandmother has 6 daughters. Tommy's mom has 6 daughters. My mother was a lawyer. Tommy's mom was a teacher. We come from a line of powerful women. So nobody can stop us. And I'm very happy that Edem is here and Ebu. So there's so many people that I know here and nobody invited me. It's Tommy that I came for. So now that I've seen Ebu, I said I'm going to leave after Tommy, but maybe I'll stay because of Ebu. So my darling sister, what that last lady said is so important. I've been married for 38 years. Wow. But one thing I've learned in my life, nobody can work on you unless you make yourself a doormat. You must believe in that vision. He can't take away your brain. He can, for now, limit you. But when somebody limits you mentally, they've had you. And so you must never allow somebody else to take your mental capacity, your belief in yourself. One thing I learned from my mom is that life is in seasons. There's one stupid thing that says a woman can have it all. A woman can have it all, but not all at the same time. From the time God said I was going to do my school till the time I did it, there was 8 years incubation. So it's about, now maybe it's because your son is small. That's why you can say, don't get here. When this boy leaves, you will see that this boy can go there. So when the child that you have given birth to has a life, why won't you get your life? So believe in, have a journal. Me, I journal. I've been journaling since I was 5. I keep writing my dreams. I'm 65 and I still have mountains to climb. Yeah. I still have places that I have never been. And I want to go there. And I'm not taking somebody else's permission because I'm not taking somebody else's money. The greatest weapon every woman has is financial independence. I tell you, when you have that naira, this naira that they say is not good. If you have Amboku, nobody can talk to you. If you buy your own car, can he take your key from you? As he's doing tayun, you two are doing tayun. Can he say, don't go out? But when you two, you say, please, can I take the car? Even when you bought the car, you are asking for. It will become uncomfortable for you. Everybody will know, hey, this girl is on the move. And no trailer will stand in front of you. But it is about planning. I find that a lot of people don't plan. Yeah. Everything you do in life, plan it. Because you've heard Edem today. You've heard Tommy today. I don't remember the third lady's name. Yetunde's. You know, they've been very vulnerable. They've said their story. How many women can be vulnerable and be honest like these 3 young women have done? And no 2 women have the same story. Tommy is one of 6 girls. I am the only girl in my own family. Our stories are different. Our paths are different. And God has a purpose and a plan for each one of us. And luckily, the Bible says that on the day of Christ, we shall all stand. They will not say Mr. and Ms. Adebola. Because you may not even end up on the same place. So therefore, remember, this walk, it is you and your God. God will help us.
Amen.
When we are strong, God will when we are weak, God will raise people to hold us by the hands. There's nothing that you cannot do. Yeah. And nobody can stop you. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. God bless you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much, Marcia. So if you remember when we started, one of the things we established was identity. We said we're going to establish identity, how we find ourselves, retain our identity through the different phases of life that we go through. And I'm saying this for her benefit and other people as well. Your story might not be the same as ours. Your story might be different, but you have something stopping you, something interfering with your identity. The key is discover your identity. Make plans to establish it and work at executing those plans. Now, put the balance. All right? So please, if you don't take anything away, take those away. Discover that identity. Make plans to achieve it. Execute those plans with a balance. I know why I'm putting the emphasis on the balance, because now you have a child. It might be some other people may have their parents. I've seen people take, let me say, selfish decisions in court. But that is what their capacity can take at that time, not to, throw shade at them. However, when you have people that will be affected by your decision, you need to find a way to redefine your balance and to make sure that you are not lost. At the same time, you are not the reason why those other people are lost as well. So God will help you, and God will help every other woman going through the same. God bless you. Thank you.
We can stand. Yes, yes, you can be there. So the media, please take a group picture. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate them. I'm sure we'll all agree that was an amazing, amazing session. You know, we women are very, very powerful, and it's important that we have gatherings like this. It's very, very important. So we felt we can't be talking about women's program and we'll not talk about freebies. You know, freebies are opportunities that are out there. Grants. Sometimes you also have loans that are, you know, very low. And these opportunities are actually out there. And we felt it's important for us to see grant opportunities that we can also explore. So we're going to have this for about 10, 15 minutes. I would advise let's ask questions, because I would make sure that I take my notes and write down every grant opportunities that we can have. So please let's welcome Mrs. Elizabeth as she takes us on opportunities in grants. I didn't want to disturb Edem too much because she's also a guru when it comes to that. But we felt let's have you know, different people talking to us today. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, church. Good afternoon, my mommies. It's such a pleasure to be here, even though I'm still learning. Yeah, thank you. So quickly, I'm here to talk about grant writing process. My slide, please. And how to position yourself for funding success. So how many of us are familiar with that word, grant? You've heard grant. Yeah, okay, a minimum. So I'll quickly start with my story. So I started out my business with a survivor mindset that anything that comes, I shall want to be all right. But eventually the businesses failed because I lacked clarity, I lacked the vision, and I didn't know this. I didn't have the skills to start or even run the business. Even though my mommy was a guru in business, she sells plaster at Aleshiloye and she has several stores. But that doesn't say I'll be successful at my own business. So what did I do? I went back to God. I asked God for that creative idea that He wants me to do. So the shift now started. I went out for learning opportunities. I was able to discover many opportunities out there that were at my fingertips that I wasn't aware of. So that's where I was able to discover that you have to start a business that solves a problem. That's the number one thing. Your business must not just be, oh, kasha marowo pawole. You will just remain at one spot. But if you are ambitious that, oh, this business must be solving a problem, then you are coming up. So, yeah, next slide, please. So we'll talk about the next slide. Yeah. So what is grant? Grant is the financial support given to an organization, government, foundation, company, or institution to help an individual, business, non-profit community carry out a project or solve a problem. And unlike loan, grant is a freebie, but it is highly competitive. Highly competitive. So the next slide. Now, I want us to know one thing about grant, is that it is not about luck, it is how you position yourself. You have to position yourself for that opportunity, and you have to be ambitious. Yes, I was ambitious, and I wasn't satisfied with my status. Yes, if I was opportune to read my bio now. Some people will know that it wasn't beans. Yeah, a recent alumni of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, and it wasn't a funny experience at all. But we passed through that process. And what's that process? We went to tutoring. They lectured us. They gave us what we need to study. So one thing I've noticed with these grant opportunities is that they will first give you, they will sit you down before you have that money. How can you manage the business? So you must know your why. What is the solution you are bringing to the table? What is the impact and how credible it is and sustainable that solution will be? Not that you will start the business now, in the next 1 month is already dead. Yes. So that's what funders look for. They want for businesses that are sustainable. And it can be any business, only how you position yourself. Like our mommy now, she sells plants. If she didn't position herself, there are other farmers there that are doing the same thing she does, but they are not having the money that she has had. So it's about positioning. Next slide, please. So the 5 steps to grant winning framework. Number 1 is clarity. Why are you starting the business? Next slide, please. Why are you starting the business? What is that problem you are solving? People know me in this shop, in this church, that I sell food. I sell wara and I sell tiger nut milk. But when I pitch before investors, I don't say I sell food. I help health conscious individuals nourish their bodies with plant-based protein food alternatives. Does it make sense? Yeah, and people are always, I want to eat healthy, I want to eat healthy. So I'm solving a problem using plant sources. People that don't want to eat meat, they can go for my product, right? So I've been able to niche out that problem and the solution. Do you get it? We have people on the roadside that sell wara now, and they still remain at that spot. But to the glory of God, though, not to my own glory, God has helped me. So we have to understand with clarity. Next slide. 2, you must align. When you are looking for opportunities, when after doing this learning of things, we are in the community. I started with Shicluded, so we are in the community. They gave us, they trained us, after which how to pitch, develop an investor-ready pitch deck. That one is inside. That one, we cannot do that one now. So, and we pitched, and I was among the winners. But one thing was that you can't just apply for any grant. You must look for the ones that align with your industry. You must look for the one that you know that, they are looking, if it's an impact industry that you run, NGO, you must look for that kind of grant opportunity. I'm in food. If my work is not in tech, I cannot go for grants that are supplying tech founders. Yes, so we need to understand that. We need to know our target audience. I mentioned that health conscious individuals. Some people, it might be Gen Zs that are looking for easy, convenient food. Do you get it? So we need to understand them. And also research. Research is very, very, very key. That's one thing I do. If I see on LinkedIn and Instagram any opportunity, I quickly go to their website, read up the necessary information. Am I eligible before I start application? Because that application can take you. It's sleepless nights sometimes. My eyes will be red. My husband, you want more? I know what I'm pursuing. So, and God has been wonderful. So, geographical focus too. You must know. If it's for Nigerian, no. If it's for African, you must know. If it's for American, and you are seeing that $5,000 is sweet, so let me quickly apply. And you discover that it's for Americans, and you have already submitted, it's zero, it's wasted effort, exactly. Next slide. So, positioning. Now, positioning talks about you must identify your problem. Please, from today, for those of us that are not familiar with it, you must identify that problem. God must open your eyes. If it's just one thing, that business, it may be that same business, even if it is clothing. Identify one problem that business will be solving with that clothing. And the solution that clothing you are bringing up or that idea is solving, and the impact it will have on a long run, not 5 years. 5 years too is long, but at least something that is sustainable, that will last even when you are not there. The business evolve from one thing to the other, but at least there's a starting point. So you must be able to know that. Next slide, please. Now, structure. Most grants want to know what your problem are solving, what is your solution, who it benefits, the impact, and how sustainable it is. I've said that. So one thing is, when you come across these grant opportunities, I'm rushing, no, but I believe you'll pick one thing or the other. Yeah, when you come across, okay, you've seen these people, we align, okay, I fit into the eligibility criteria, I can apply. You must also be able to answer correctly, because you don't answer vaguely and you don't answer anyhow. You answer straight to the point, no story, no jargons. So that's one thing they also look for, and you'll be able to stay among the eligible applicants. Next slide, please. Now, proof. Proof is also important. Now, there are two categories of business, or let me say business founder, people that apply for grants. Number one is the idea stage, and number two is existing. Now, the existing business already have customers. They already have funds. They've raised money. They already have impact. Now, these people are good to showcase their proof, their testimonial, their customer. But if you're an idea state, you must still give that view of what you're expecting, that in the next 6 months, you must have reached this, you must have acquired this, you understand? So those ones, they want to see that, okay, this person knows what they are. Not that you just say, they want to see that real, specific, and measurable impact that you will make, even though you are still at the idea stage. So let's go. Next slide. Yeah. Common mistakes to avoid when applying. So you do not apply for every grant. It will just be waste of your energy and time. You must not be too vague. You must not ignore instruction. Is very, very paramount. There are some instructions that they will say, pitch for 90 seconds. And that's 1 minute, 30 seconds, and you do 1 minute, 34 seconds, is off. So if they say 90 seconds, if you say 60 seconds, it must be even lesser than that. So, but it's part of the editing that will make sure that you reach that part. But always have that mindset that you are going to follow instruction to the call. So using generic answers, submitting rushed applications is also not good for an application to stand out. So we need to start applying early. And if you notice, I wrote Pitch It and Win. That's the initiative I've started since many people have been entering my DM. Please come and help me. I want to win grant. So I created a WhatsApp community where 11 women. I'm mentoring them on how to win grants, and God has been faithful. Some of them are they are getting it. So yeah, we do that in our community to teach them how to get to know their problems. So generic answer of overhyping without proof. Don't do that. You must be specific. Even if it is minute, still be specific. Next slide. So practical tools I use that's been helping me today is I use Google Doc to document my answers. Like one experience I had, though to God be the glory, I later won, but after a first denial. So we were to submit a proof of the documentation of what we want to use the money for. So they now, after they've selected the winners, I was among them. Then I said that we should resubmit what we pitched for again, what we said we'll use the money for. I wrote something else. That's how I was disqualified. But that time was 500K. But when I reapplied for 1 million, I was among them. So I think God just used it to prepare me that, you must say what you want. And documentation is key. So the second time, I quickly went to what I kept. So that's why we need to keep record of what we are applying for. Even if it's just a submit and there are Google forms that will say, then send Kinikon to your, copy to your email. Some don't. So immediately I'm copying the answers. I'll copy it into the Google Drive with the questions. So that, and also it also helps also in preparation for other grant opportunities. So that's why it's important. Grammarly to check for spellings and errors. Canva, oh God. Canva for pitch deck. I use Canva for this slide. So, and it doesn't have to be too, you don't have to be too tech or too, it's a user-friendly app. So ChatGPT and Gemini, and I also watch YouTube to know how to pitch, to know how to develop a USP. You can go to an event, selected, okay, who wants to pitch here, and you raise up. Oh yeah, you are given 30 seconds to, 30 seconds, and I've rehearsed maybe 1 minute. So that is why you'll be able to know, okay, what will I say in 30 seconds? What will I say in 1 minute? What will I say in 3 minutes? So that is why it's very important to look for these tools to prepare oneself. How can you get grant opportunities? You must be on Instagram, 1. You must be on LinkedIn, 2. Twitter, I'm not so sure because I'm not on Twitter. I'm not so conversant with it. But website, 2. Some communities have, some website opportunities are being posted on, like MSME Africa. They share opportunities through their website. So, yeah. Next slide. Now, I want us to do a quick exercise. So, so that we will not just leave here and say, I did not even gain anything. I want us to do a quick exercise. And what is that exercise? I want us to say in one sentence, what problem are you solving? Now, this is the formula. You say, I help the people, you're helping, or the participant of the target audience by providing dash so this is my own answer. I help health-conscious and underserved families by providing affordable plant-based protein food and dairy-free drinks so that they can access nutritious, sustainable, and healthier food options. I also said I help health-conscious families eat better or nourish their body with plant-based protein food products like our local crops like soya beans and tiger nuts. And we take it up from there. So that's just what I want. So if you want to give it a try, who want to try for us before we call it before we wrap up here? Somebody who wants to say, what problem are you solving? And who is it for? And what is that impact it is making for them? Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Please, will you come forward so that those online will see us? Please, a round of applause for her. Thank you. Yeah, I try her again. Thank you.
Okay, I'm a woman in tech. I'm a solution architect and artificial intelligence digital transformation strategist. So I help organizations understand how to efficiently use their business to make money quickly. I help organizations understand that the old ways of doing things is no longer what is working. You can actually write reports in 2 minutes. Meanwhile, we used to write reports for days, and it's very difficult. If you have presentation now, I can help you strategize it. In the next 5 minutes, you have a proper slide and everything, what to present. And teaching you what to say per slide and everything, that will be so convenient for you. If you have a business that you usually use to fill forms, you wait long queue to go and fill forms. No, I can digitalize everything and automate everything that the system will be able to submit all the forms for you on your behalf. You don't have to come and join any line and everything. Thank you.
Thank you. So, please, if you understood what she said now, please, can you come and tell me? Please, because that's what is very important. When you are saying you are pitching, people must be able to understand what you are doing in the first 3 seconds. So, please, do you understand what she's trying to say? Can you tell me, ma?
So what I understand is that she's helping businesses and even individuals learn how to leverage technology to run more efficiently and effectively.
Thank you so much. So it's just as simple as that. So if you are told to come out, one thing that business owners are always afraid of is that, if I go and tabon or they laugh at me. No, come out. Come out. You can never say who we want to help you. My first opportunity that I won a grant of 100K, we were just got, do you want to pitch? I said, yes, I will pitch. And within a few seconds, I took my bag on my seat. I was, imagine, I was rehearsing my word because I've gone through a training, right? But at that instant, I might have forgotten. So I quickly went to my phone, checked my record. I was saying it, I was rehearsing, and really helped me. So it doesn't have to be something so technical, something gritty. You understand? As soon as you start with that mind that I have to know what my business is solving, the solution I'm providing, and what it is for. That 3 things, if you know it, you can pitch. You can pitch. The only thing you also need to know is know your competition, so that it will be easy for you to distinguish that if Coca-Cola and Pepsi now, we know the difference, Abi? We know the difference. We know what they do differently. So that is how it is. So next slide. So final advice, still the same thing. Yeah, last thing is that I've noticed one thing lately, that most Ibadan business, people in Ibadan, they are not online. Rarely do you find them. And they are good businesses, oh. At least I'm online. Me, I'm online. I don't have a physical store yet. I work from home. But all of my sales are mostly, even within Ibadan, people know me. So I want us to have a social media platform. If it is YouTube, Facebook, open it, post. It doesn't have to be too technical. It doesn't have to be too beautiful. Start something. Let people see your digital footprint. So that when you apply, if they go and check, okay, please, they will, that thing will pop up that you are already doing something. Not that you just apply and you know. If they don't see that digital proof, is another disqualification. So let's start that if we need to. The impact, consistency, documentation, and credibility. Grants do not go for the most qualified people alone. They go for those who can clearly communicate value, impact, and alignment. Thank you for listening. God bless you.
Thank you very much for such a short, insightful session. Do we have questions? 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 Okay. Thank you very much. So we're going to have a performance, and then we move straight to the next powerful session. So is Miss Angela, is she ready? Miss, sorry. It's okay. It's okay if I'm saying Mrs. I know it's Mrs. I don't like it when you call them Miss. It's as if they'll use it to get money in the bank. All right, thank you so much. So let's appreciate her, please.
Praise God. My name is Angela. I'm not married. Alright. So please let's pay attention to the lyrics, basically. Thank you. You gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'Cause the world will never see you till you do. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you got. You are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. And no, there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you feel? But know how you feel. 'Cause everybody's got their own damn problems. So everybody's trying to find a way. And day by day it's a struggle. In this world, you know you have to hustle. Okay, you are yourself. Oh, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. And nobody's perfect, darling. And no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. Oh, 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 oh. You are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. And no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you.
Thank you. What a beautiful and powerful song. What a beautiful and powerful song. And of course, we are moving to women, purpose, and financial empowerment. So this session is going to give us practical insight and will be shared on building financial wisdom, entrepreneurship, and purpose-driven living. So, this particular session, I have all my, I don't know, maybe I should say my G's. The way the Sangu is your guy. So these are really my people. And I'm going to read their profile. So I'm starting with our moderator. Industry. Welcome. So beyond business, Oluwakemi is deeply passionate about purpose-driven living, women empowerment, and community impact. She is also the founder of the Olukemi Olushola Girl Child Foundation, an initiative committed to supporting, empowering, and creating opportunities for young girls to thrive. Known for her warmth, leadership, and authenticity, Oluwakemi continues to use hospitality, storytelling, and mentorship as tools to inspire growth, meaningful connections, and lasting impact. My dear friend, take your seat. Please, let's appreciate her. So I'm going to bring our panelist up right immediately. And she's also my friend. So Ebonluwa Akinwale is a trained legal professional, administrative specialist, and wellness entrepreneur. Our entrepreneurial journey began in 2013 through consulting following a personal health transformation
where she lost nearly 40 kg and regained her confidence. What started as a personal milestone evolved into a mission to help women achieve sustainable wellness through structured guidance and practical lifestyle solution. To date, she and her team have supported over 300 individuals, primarily women, in achieving measurable health outcomes. In response to the growing need for accessible healthy food options, she founded Nature Street Cafe in 2017 after over 2 years of research, recipe development, and market testing. As Ibadan's pioneer healthy restaurant and cafe, what she and her team did was entered the market despite strong skepticism about its viability. 8 years later, they remain a leading wellness brand in Oyo State with over 14 awards recognizing their innovation and impact. Their philosophy is simple. Healthy doesn't have to be boring. They appreciate a strict, no refined sugar policy and prioritize healthier ingredients alternative without compromising taste or quality. Building on our strengths in structure, detail, and execution, they expanded into event management. And the company specializes in corporate functions, including conferences, executive retreats, product launches, and brand activations. They also approach event planning strategically, ensuring alignment with client objective, operational efficiency, and seamless execution from concept to delivery. At the core of their work is impact, mindset, and business. Through her journey, Susan has become a voice for women who desire more confidence, more visibility, and more income. I really like that part. She uses fashion as a tool for transformation, teaching women how to show up powerfully and build profitable fashion brands. Based in Ibadan, Nigeria, she serves clients home and abroad and continues to inspire women to step boldly into the women they are becoming. Please welcome Susan Ojelabi. And of course, I'm happy to read another friend's profile. Idem Dorothy Asai is a Nigerian specialist in education, gender, and youth development with over 15 years of experience advancing child rights, universal basic education, and gender-responsive policy. She studied law at Obafemi Awolowo University, holds a master's from the University of Ibadan, and a master's in international development and policy from the University of Chicago. Hidem currently serves as Africa Regional Network Coordinator at NORAG, leading regional strategies, policy dialogue, and partnerships to strengthen inclusive education systems. She has contributed to global and regional platforms, including the African Union and the Interagency Network for Education in Emergencies, where she serves on the Gender Working Group. Idem is the founder and now trustee of Mentoring Assistant for Youth and Entrepreneurs Initiative, MEAN, a nonprofit promoting inclusive education, skills, and civic education among Nigerian youth. She is a recipient of numerous awards, both global and national, including the prestigious Mandela Washington Fellowship, the inaugural Obama Foundation Scholar Award, the Echidna Global Scholar Award, the Royal African Youth Award, and the Commonwealth Prize and Life Builders Youth of the Year. Among others, Idem is also a children's author, known for the Role Model series for Children Volume 1, highlighting the incredible journeys of inspiring African individuals in culturally grounded storybooks. Please welcome with me, Idem. You have the floor.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I really had to take a deep breath because this beauty in front of me is breathtaking. I wasn't expecting to see beautiful people like this morning. Oh, this afternoon. Good afternoon once again. My name is Oluwakemi Olushola, and I am the moderator for this panel session. Thank you so much. I am a restaurateur, and I own a hotel in the heart of Ibadan here. And in my 12 years of experience in the hospitality industry, I've come to realize one thing, and that is what you create is important, but how you make people feel is what truly lasts. And I hope today, after leaving this event, you feel seen, loved, encouraged, and inspired. Today's topic on this conversation is women, purpose, and financial independence. And to be honest, I was shocked when I entered the hall this afternoon, coming in. The hall is not filled up like I expected, because this is a kind of conversation every woman needs to be present. Yeah. Every woman needs to feel here and then carry forward. Today we are not just talking. We are going to be reflecting, learning, and hopefully living here more aligned with who we are and who we are becoming. Yeah. Today with me, I'm so honored to be joined with this beautiful, exceptional, fantastic women that are doing fantastic job in their respective spaces. I'm so excited to be here. I met you during the first panel session. To be honest, you're fire. I'm really inspired, and I'm so honored to be here with you. Eboluwa is my friend as well, and also Pastor Mrs. Susan. Tony told me when I entered that she is my big sister. She is my big sister, and I know what that means when she says that. It's such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming, and also thank you for lending your voices in this conversation. Okay, I'm going to start this conversation. I'm going to ease us in, and I'm going to start with something simple and personal. Can you briefly share with me, the three of you, what purpose means to you as a woman? Thank you. Anybody can go first.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Like she said earlier on, my name is Eboluwa Akinwale. I always tell people I'm a lawyer by bookery because I read law in University of Ibadan. But passion and purposeful alignment led me to where I am today. So purpose to me is living the life that makes me feel aligned. I don't know if that makes any sense, because there's so many facets to life. There's so many seasons we find ourselves as women. And generally, it is about what defines you or your values. So it is really not a generic statement for everybody. So for purpose for me is impact, number one. I need to be able to know that whatever I'm doing is beyond the money or the coins I'm getting at that point. It means that whatever I'm doing for this person is able to learn and gain from it and also pay it forward. So that's purpose for me, either as a wife or as a friend or as a mom. But I would also like to add that as women, most times when we think of purpose, we always tie it to marriage or motherhood. It's actually beyond that, and that's why I liked the first session a lot. Because for me, it was like I should just transport myself to here because I could really resonate. And it's really beyond that. Those things is added. We should have the cake first. That cake, because you can eat the cake and enjoy the cake without the icing. For me, marriage, motherhood, and all those things are the icing to the cake. But that cake is you. That cake is what defines you, is what defines your values and what you want to pour into life. So that's what purpose is for me.
Thank you. The next person, please.
Okay. Purpose for me cannot be defined without God. Because I believe that every one of us here today was made by God. So, and God has an intention in his mind when he was creating us. So we fulfilling that intent of God in our lives means fulfilling purpose. And I will say further that purpose is not always something we pick on the floor. It's actually hidden in your gifting, it's hidden in your temperament, it's hidden in who you are, basically. So much that says, it is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and it is the glory of kings to search it out. Meaning that as human beings, we have a responsibility to discover who we are under God. And when we fulfill that purpose, or when we do what God has asked us to come and do on earth, then we have actually fulfilled purpose.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't think I can even, I think they've summarized, what I would love to say, except that two songs come to mind. When I was younger, I fell in love with this song as a university student, and I haven't stopped singing it. I was born to reign, I was born to rule in this world without no exception. I don't know if you guys know that song. All I'm gonna do is walk in a way that leads to destiny. That's a song that resonates in my heart. And then recently, Adekunle Gold's song, I hear a voice inside my head singing, simile, simile, simile. Those two songs just capture purpose for me. There is a voice in my head since I was a child. There is a dream in my heart. There's a voice that just keeps talking to me, telling me, do this, showing me images, what I want to do, how I should do it, what I'm capable of doing, So those two songs just encapsulate that meaning for me. There's a voice in all our heads. It's speaking to us, despite your physical circumstances. It doesn't let you go. It prods you. It leaves you restless. That voice is purpose. It's the way the Creator designed us to, hear from Him. Otherwise, we'll be disconnected. We wouldn't know what we are to accomplish, right? That's the pointer. There is something, and it shows up in the giftings, the aptitudes, the things we do naturally, the things we enjoy doing. Those are all pointers. But there is a voice inside all our heads. It's telling us, just hear it. That, for me, is purpose.
Wow, thank you very much for that. You can all see that this particular session is going to be a powerful one. Now let's take it a step further. I would like to start with you, Pastor Mrs. Susan. As a woman, a lot of women are trying to discover purpose out there, but they are lost along the way. For you, in your own journey, how did you discover purpose, and how did you stay aligned in it?
Personally, I thank God for his help, because the tutors that I had, or those that I listened to, like just last year, we had Success Power, Sam Adeyemi saying that he celebrated 30 years of his ministry. And I could remember, that was when I started out too. And I kind of listened to him every day. So it kind of helped to shape me. I discovered that I'm an artistic person. I can draw very well. My imagination is quite sharp. So I even entered my journey by chance, but now I know it was divine, because my dad was an accountant, and he wanted me to be an accountant. But I wanted to be a fine artist because I could draw effortlessly. So I went to Ife. I chose Ife, and I got an admission. And my dad used trick to make sure that I didn't go for that admission. He told me to stay, that they would send my admission letter home, and I believed them until everybody was in school and I was left at home. And it was like, just go for accounting then, since they didn't pick you for fine art. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good in math. So I went for accounting. I got admission in Poly. But while I was waiting for that 1 year, there was this seamstress in our neighbor, and I felt I can't just stay home and do nothing. I decided to go and learn. But something happened while I'm learning. Whatever they're cheating, it looks familiar. It's like I've known it before. So I kind of picked things, and in 3 months, even the person that was teaching me was wondering what's going on. So by the time I resumed in Polyban, I was already making outfits. So while students are going home with their books and every stuff, I go home with clothes to go and sew for holiday. So I come back to school and distribute their wares to them. And right there in school, I was making money, though I was studying. But one day I now went back to Lagos. We have a program, something like this. And the preacher that was preaching came to me, and he just stood in front of me. I said, some of you are gifted. And you living what you're gifted in, and you're trying to do something else. It was as if he was talking. Something in me resonated with what he was saying. So, and I'm like, after all they said, I'm like, what am I really good at? I'm good at this thing now. I don't struggle to do it. I do one small thing. A lot of, answers come. So when I got home that day, I told my dad, I think I'm going to pursue this fashion stuff. And he said to me, it's okay, but finish your accounting first. You know, that's what parent does. They child want you to go. And so I went back to school. And when I got back to school, there was another program like this again. When you go to a program, please attend programs. Like you said, people are not here right now. This is where you get the information. So I went for that program, and before the program, first time in my life, I fell into a trance. And I saw myself with a draft. And I was trying to put Abuja inside Lagos. And it wasn't fitting. And I kept forcing it. Then I woke up. By the time I woke up, it was time for fellowship. I went to fellowship. And the person that was preaching said, if God is pleased to make you a hand, stay there. If he decides to make you a eye, stay there. He said, if the whole body were to be an eye, where would the leg be? Exactly. So some of you are struggling with what God has created you to be. Just accept it. And that day I'm like, oh, this is the interpretation of the trance that I had. That weekend my dad came around. I told him, Daddy, I want to do. He convinced me again. He now took me through Ibadan. And he will show me a tailor sleeping. He will show me, very terrible. That was 1999. And I'm like, is this what you want to, 1997. Is this what you want to do? I'm like, see tailors, they all look haggard. He took me to his own firm, CAC, see everything. So I changed my mind again. Before you know it, another program came up. Kola Iwosho from Kaduna, I guess, or Kano. He came around. And this man now took this scripture from the Old and the New Prophet. And he said, do you know why the young prophet died? He said, because God told him what to do. But he listened to the old one, believing that he knows better. Believing that he has been. He said, that old prophet can be your father. And that thing just hit me. I said, this one is okay. Because if anything, I said, you're going to die. But I'm not talking about physical death. Your dream will die. You will struggle in life for no reason, because what he has given. Yetunde said something here. She said she loved her craft. Doors will open when you are in that mode, because God normally pays for the assignment he sent you. Most times we struggle because we just do things on our own. Yeah. But once he's the one that sent you the assignment, he's going to pay your bills. So I got home and I'm like, I just begged him. Please, he now said, okay, if you're going to do this thing, no problem. Go and look for where they do this thing properly. And I discovered they do it in Ife, they do it in Ilorin and Yabatek. And I opted for Yabatek. And the two of us, 1-1, go, let's draw. So I studied it. And I discovered that even in school, let me give you a testimony, even in school, I started working before I went to Yabatek. So I know how to sew already. When they give us homework, class work for 1 week, in 2 hours, I'm done. I'm like, what is this? So one day they had tests. And I had this friend that normally gist me, babe, there is class tomorrow. But this time around, I think she noticed that I'm likely to top her. So she didn't tell me. So that day I was in my workplace and I just felt like going to school. I'm like, what is this? So I went. By the time I got there, they were about to enter the hall and I'm like, babe, you didn't tell me you're having class. She said she forgot. I said, can I have the handout? Let me quickly. And she said she can't give me. Everybody were just trying to catch up. Before I knew it, we entered the hall. And when I saw the papers, I'm like, okay. if this should happen, what will I do? And I just kept thinking, and I was answering the question. By the time the lecturer came back to class, I said, this is the worst class that she has ever taught. Only one person passed. I'm like, So, and then who is Ojelabi? I'm like, was it because I scored 0? I was the only one that passed, 74%. The next person was that my dear friend, and she got 16, even though they read all the. So there's this thing about purpose. It's inbuilt. We need to accept it, because when you accept it, you will thrive.
Yes.
If you don't, most times we don't really know what we are up to until the end, unfortunately, when we're going to stand before God. And when you read scripture like people will cry in heaven, you'll be wondering why. But God will show you what you will have become. And then you are like, oh my God. So anything we do, let's find our purpose. It is never too late. I heard a message this morning about the 11th hour. Jesus took the first one, paid them something, the second one, and at the last 1 hour remaining, went to those guys. And like, you guys are idle. Are you ready to work? They said, no man has hired us. Can you imagine somebody waiting when it's 1 hour to close? It shows that they were ready to work. It's just that they didn't get somebody. So Jesus hired them. And that's staying power. So are you here today and you're like, I don't know my purpose yet. You're never late. The time you discover it is when you start counting. And guess what? Jesus paid them the same thing. So if you discover your purpose today and you decide to walk in that line, you're going to get 100% of those who have even gone ahead of you. And I think that's a good place to start.
Thank you so much. Still on you. While you were talking, you mentioned something that caught my attention. You said, purpose has to be a leading from God. And you also mentioned that it is something inbuilt. Okay. Are you saying that it has to be something, purpose be something you're familiar with or something you're good at?
God will not.
Because according to you,
yes,
it was something you are actually good at. You can tell that you are perfectly good at this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just speaking for everybody out here to understand.
You have to. The truth of the matter is, at times you don't appreciate a beautiful song until somebody that cannot sing begins to sing. And you'll be wondering what's happening here. Anything that God gives to you is meant to be used. So we all have something. Nobody is here empty. Like in the Bible talks about the one with the 5 talents, the one with the 3, and with the one with the 1. And at the end of the day, he said that you have will be taken away from you and given to somebody. For him to say that you have means there is nobody that has nothing. So we are here with something. You may not appreciate it. You may not value it. And most of the time, that's what happened. Look at when we were getting married in those days. Did you do makeup? You just use Lali. And you're off. But somebody somewhere decided to do makeup. Tara, do you know? She just opened up people's opportunity. You begin to see yourself and the ability. Most time why people don't really evolve is because those that have been called to lead are not even ready to do it. They are afraid. They don't want to take the bold step because the Bible says in every labor there is profit. So you can't say this one that me I have. It's a lie. You have not just found the way. So look out for somebody that is doing it. People think it's easy to cook and your food is sweet. It's not. Some people are, when they cook, you can empty your bank to keep eating what. So all those things are not just there for fun. If you can do it, it's because God has given it to you. There's nobody on this planet that doesn't have one. All you need to do is to embrace it. A friend of mine who is a doctor, she came around last week and she told me that her daughter wants to be a fashion designer. And I'm like, wow. And she said, no, let her go to school first. She's a doctor. She said, let her go to school first. And I'm about to determine what is the definition of schooling. Now we have big brands in fashion industry. People that are making waves. And your daughter in 2026 want to do fashion. You still want her to first go and do business admin, collect certificate, then go and do fashion. You are just wasting your child's life. And I was like, at this age and time, I think people should be enlightened. Anything that you want to do, you can always step it up.
Yeah.
You can always make it the best that it can be. And you can be the one to actually pioneer and open doors for other people that want to come into that industry. So I think, yes, we all have it. Our job is to discover it. And parents, help your children. I heard the testimony of a man that went to South Africa sometime, and he was with his friend. And when they took the children to school, they discovered that there is no class, nothing, just hall. And they will put pot, they will put ball, they will put a sewing machine. They will just put all sorts on the floor. Whichever one those children navigate to, they pick them from that level and they begin to train them. Little wonder they do more than us, because we normally pick up at 35, at 40, quarter to what is left. But sincerely, we need to help our children. If you know that they are good in anything, just look out for it. If it is their call, they will make it massively in that industry. This lady was talking about, what did she just discuss now? Grants.
Yes.
When I've had several grants, and to me, I didn't do anything. I just did my thing, and I got 10 million. I've been getting money it's because I'm in my lane. Doors will be open. God will make it happen. But if you are not in your lane, you may suffer a living. You may even, and it's not as if you are not going to be rich. But if you now compare with what you will have been, that is when the regret comes in.
Thank you very much.
A round of applause for her, please.
Over to you, Mrs. Osai. I would like to ask you the same question. In all honesty, I am personally vested in this topic because I told my friend of recent that I find it difficult to say that I found purpose, even at this stage. Yes. And every time it occurs to me, I feel like I'm a loser. I feel like when Toyin reached out to me to moderate the session, I was so excited because I was actually looking forward to learn a lot from this session. So you pardon me, I have to spend a lot of time, not too much, on this purpose issue. So I would like to ask you the same question as well. How did you discover purpose in your journey, and what kept you aligned with it?
Thank you. And I think I love what you're saying, because I'm still asking myself that question today. Now, let me clarify. Purpose is not a place.
Yes.
It's a journey. So when you take that framing, you allow yourself evolve and let the journey take you in different directions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you call purpose a place, then you begin to feel like, hey, I'm boxed in here. And then if you step outside, you begin to feel like there's a dissonance, you're in confusion. No, it's a journey. What happens is that what she's saying, there's a lane. There's a lane that is yours for that journey. There's a lane that is not yours in that journey. Sometimes society has a script, right? And when you think about who we are, even if you use the Christian, and this is the Christian, so my faith requires me to use the Christian definition. There are 3 things at war within me. There's a spirit, right? There's a flesh. There's a soul component. Now, on this identification of journey or purpose, the greatest sound or voice I must hear cannot be flesh. And you know where it's tempting me to, because if it's flesh, I'll look at who is the shiniest woman in this room. What did she do? Auntie Funsho, how did she come in? I will follow her path. There is also the mind, my childhood, the words that were said to me, you are stupid, you can never thrive like this. This is not, my childhood was very affirming. But I'm saying that some people in their childhood, they've received only curses. No parent told them that they were wise, they were beautiful, they were intelligent. They were broken before they entered the world. So they already came in just, insecure. And so the nearest thing they saw, they will follow. Yeah. There is a spirit. That is the thread that connects you to that being that made you. It is that voice that must be the loudest in this quest for purpose. The way to find it, at least in my journey, has involved 3 things, some of which Pastor Dupe has already shared. 1, quiet reflection. I was a child who allowed myself to sit still. What helped me was I read books. I was a bookworm. When you are trained that way, you quickly enter conversations with yourself. So very quickly, I learned to identify that something was speaking back to me and I was speaking back to it. In those conversations, sometimes they would, because if you go, when you read more about the subconscious mind, depending on what was uppermost in your mind, it will even result in dreams. That's why people that worry about certain things, next thing you see a dream emerging, and you don't know it's a consequence of even what you've been devoting so much thought to, right? So anyways, that reflection was helping me to understand very early things I love, things that come easy. I knew that I loved storytelling. I knew that I loved just strategic thinking. I just love it. Some people don't, if you sit down, tell them, think your way through a thing. It's like punishment. It's like thorns. I like to think. I love to write. I love to facilitate trainings. I started identifying those things. All of these things were pointing me to a lane. The second thing that I quickly discovered that also helped me was environment, right? In university, I used to go all these Fela Durotoyes. We talked about Tara. That era was good, though. I don't know now what students, undergraduates in campuses, Nigerian campuses, there was a wave called the era of motivational speaking, where these individuals were going around Nigerian universities talking to young people. You see, a young person is a person in transition. A young person is a person, with questions. That's just a young person. So you need people who've passed through phases to reach them and give clarity. Be giving them, as a millennial, I happen to be privileged to be part of an era where these wise men were coming in and talking to us, pouring into us, right? In those spaces, like in her case, church settings where prophecies were spoken, all of those things were awakening seeds. Some were dousing doubt. I don't remember his name, but he was very popular. He said one day in the room that there are some of you, the people I was sent to, they are already formed. And I realized it was true because in those settings, when you listen to our Fela Durotoye, some people are still making noise at the back. So some people, that thing that they are saying is casting pearls before swine, which means that there is a DNA already in somebody in the audience to whom that those words I speak, there is an immediate resonance. Yes. So find the right environment. You will know it by spirit. There will be a resonance. There will be a sensation, a feedback in your spirit that lets you know that this is the right space. It will also lead you to the right company. The friends you keep, you will be sensitive. You will know that some people, the things that they are saying, they are just inflicting trauma. And you will just be repelled. And you will just, just by natural force of gravity, you will find yourself, oil will be separating from water. Trust those instincts, right? And the third thing I always tell people, clarity comes from doing. That's why in the first panel we said, do, especially when you're young. I don't like to turn young people into specialists, which is what we do in Nigeria. So go study law and just stay on that. But you've already made me, whereas a child is a creature of curiosity and wonder. They want to see, know, and ask. That is the child. That's the formation. It is in that process of quest and seeking and exploring that settlement. You begin to settle here, settle here, settle here. But parents, you make these children settle without exploring. Then they wake up 40-year-old discontents. They wake up 70-something-year-old sorrowing mothers. Whereas your singular duty was to explore. That is your role. So if these three things work for me, I strongly recommend them to people seeking purpose. And allow yourself to evolve. I recently started a children's, YouTube channel. Nobody would, thank you, please, it means you've subscribed. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The World of African Ideas. So a lot of the things we talk about, right, our young people, even on the continent, are so disconnected from their roots. Now, roots are important because in roots, creativity, because if I introduce you to a world that you can't meaningfully engage, right, you don't understand, your creative element will never find expression. So what we do when we introduce children to a world and, divorce them from, so we tell them stories and romanticize the West and Americas and, the United Kingdoms, and we don't allow them to see. So a lot of our children are just passing through. They're not seeing. They're not seeing. I created content that helps children see the world around them. Understand the African continent from a material and cultural lens, right? In a way that's educational and entertaining, because I hope that these children will solve Africa's problems tomorrow. The only way they can do it is if they discover Africa, they love Africa, and they feel a sense of commitment to Africa. This is me who studied law. I'm a policy specialist. I wear many hats. But am I in a central lane? Yes. All the things I do connect to all the things that my spirit has told me is my lane. So this is the journey.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for her, please. I still have to go down to Ebolua. So, Mrs. Ebolua, can you please also share with us how you discovered purpose and what kept you aligned to it?
Okay, thank you very much. So for me, I think from when I was pretty young, I've always been there was this nickname I had when I was in secondary school. I was called Voltron, the defender of the universe. I don't know if anybody remembers that cartoon. Yes. And that's because from my core, that's who I am. I'm very big on, like advocating for people, especially if I feel like they are being cheated or bullied. I'm the one that will go there and talk. So I immediately found myself saying I wanted to read law. I mean, that was like the almost immediate thing to do. Like, okay, so I can advocate for more people in a structured environment and change the world, because I'm that big. I'm big on humanity. I have a lot of empathy, so I feel I want to help everybody. I have friends that challenge, that tease me to tomorrow that you are too nice. I'm like, no. I just believe in learning people grace, because I think that's what we all need as human beings. But then when I went to UI, and by the time I got to after UI, and we had to do law school, and I had to do court attachment, I changed my mind, because I realized that the justice system is not as straightforward as we all imagine, like what you watch on TV. And that, I mean, because there's a lot of adjournment, there's so many things that are not in line. So I found out that it's the better lawyer that wins, not the innocent person many times. And I wanted to fight for the innocent people. And meaning I needed to be a criminal lawyer. And I felt, I don't know about that in this country, how that would safeguard your family or yourself. So I found myself gravitating. And like I said earlier on, there are so many ways you can find purpose. It's one lane, but different branches, different, sidewalks, right? Yeah. So I realized at my core, I just want to help people. So since I cannot do this anymore from this angle, because, I'm not a family woman and all of that, so how can I step in? So like she said in my profile, I gained a lot. I've always been a big girl. I've never really been a skinny kind of girl. But then I was able to lose weight. I gained a lot of weight, and I was able to lose weight. I found a way I could lose weight over time after my second baby. And I realized that a lot of women were struggling. I mean, it's something that, off the top of my head, you find somebody before she got married, before she started having kids, the world was her oyster. Like, she enters a room, she knows she's killing it. But after a kid, baby 1, baby 2, they're hiding behind boo-boos. They don't feel confident anymore in their bodies. They feel like they've lost time, they've lost essence. So I found myself opening up myself to these women. So I called it my ministry, where I opened up like a consultancy where I started helping women find themselves by actually losing weight. Because I found out that a lot of people might think, maybe they're just, but unconsciously, we women tie a lot to how we look. You might not accept it. You might not believe it. But how you look dictates a lot of things in your life. And hence the saying, you want to dress the way you want to be addressed. It's very important. The cover of the book goes a long way. And aside the superficial, I realized that a lot of women, a lot of marriages were even suffering. Their spouses didn't even realize it, that, because my wife is no longer in that headspace, she was not as confident anymore in the bedroom. She wanted to put off the light all the time. She always wanted to hide in the bathroom. She didn't want to do so many things. Now she's boring. She's not exciting like how women, not knowing that it was just something as simple as her body had changed and she was not happy anymore. So in the process of helping people lose weight, I found out that I could be impactful. I found myself being like a counselor, trying to talk them through this stage, trying to walk them through this stage, trying to make them find confidence. And I realized that, and that's how Nature Street was birthed, because we're helping people lose weight, and then they were now saying, okay, now that you've helped us lose weight, how do we maintain this weight loss? How do we learn to eat healthy? There's no healthy food anywhere, and that's how Nature Street was, where we are creating healthier versions of these foods that we all like to eat. So the core of it for me, purpose is impact. I needed to be able to help people, and help people from a place of love and empathy, not from what the book says, but from what I thought or felt really mattered. So if I couldn't do that as a lawyer and carry placards, and because trust me, anywhere they are doing placards, I'm there. NSAS, I was there. I didn't go all the way to Lagos, but I held down the Ibadan chapter. So I'm for change. I'm for that. I've always been that activist, stand up for the people kind of person. But I needed to tone that down a bit and find a way how I could make that more grounded and more real. And I found out that women, you are literally the focal point of any society. You are literally the focal point of any community. It starts with you. You birth the next generation. You nurture the next generation. So I don't see why we cannot pour into that entity. So for me, that's where it started from. I just knew that women, we need to understand how ingrained we needed to be. And for you to be able to pour yourself into the society, to the children, to your work, to your passion, you need to also be full. And the only way you can be full in joy and not just bookwork, from a place of contentment and joy, it meant that you needed to also love yourself. And many times, you need to also be confident in whatever you're doing to fully love and appreciate yourself. So that's why I found myself here advocating for women and translating that to so many of the things that I've found myself doing.
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Eboluwa. I still want to continue from somewhere around where you stopped.
Okay.
Yes. Because this will lead to the next question, though. I remember fully well that at some point, I like to use myself. I said this is really, really personal to me. Yes. I remember that at some point, I still do that, but at some point, I felt that was purpose. Because I love helping other women. I love creating space where they feel heard, where they feel loved, where they are encouraged, where they are inspired. I love it. I'm passionate about it. And I felt that was purpose at some point. But at the long run, I still felt something is missing. And I felt that wasn't purpose for me. I just have to start all over again. This is leading to the next question. Is it possible for your purpose to change at some point?
Okay, so change is the only constant thing. But change is also diverse. So for me, purpose can come in different ways. We're women, we're multi. There's sometimes that there'll be a time in your life, I'm sure that time you were passionate about, you still are.
Yeah.
You're my friend, I know you.
Yes.
You still are, but I think the issue is,
I just wanted more.
Something takes priority. So when people ask us how we juggle things, I tell people that I feel like nobody can juggle everything 100% per time. I think something will take a bit of a back seat for that moment when another thing is at your forefront. So I believe that in purpose, it depends on the stage you are in your life. When I was younger, now my babies are no longer babies. My first is going to be 20 in December. The second is 17. The third is... So I'm at the teenage stage. So my focus, I'm bolder enough to say, you guys are fine with your daddy. I can travel for 2 weeks and chase purpose from an angle of travel. And, than 10 years ago, where my priority was not sure what they were doing. So your purpose, it can change, but it will still be within the same community. What you still love at your very core. It will still be tied to your very core. What it is, what makes you tick. Every day, I know your NGO, the Girl Child, is girls that become women.
Yes.
So that has never changed. Just like if you love women, you love the girl child first. Because you pour into the girl child, that's who now becomes the woman that, later that wants to... You get what I mean? So for me, my perspective, I don't think it really changes. You're still at your core. You're still tied to who you are at your core. But seasons can change, but you still find yourself always back there. That's how I see purpose for me.
Okay, I can see that.
In addition to that, let me have...
Yes, I can see that you want to say something as well.
TGJ says sometime. He said, don't let someone put a full stop where God has put a comma.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of us that are multi-talented. The Bible talks about 1, 2, 5. And the one that had 5 was given 5 back, making 10. Yes. That's huge.
Yes.
So you might be, like she said, it's just the timing. So there will be a time when you'll be able to manifest that fully. You need to wait. But the fact that you are multi-talented doesn't mean you have to stick to one. A good example is, maybe God has sent you to help people. There are millions of ways to express yourself. You might decide to be a politician, and your purpose is to help. You might decide to be a lawyer. All the roads are okay, so long you fulfill that core of helping. So it doesn't have to be one thing that you master. Some people are given 3, 4, 5, and you can do all because you have what it takes to do it. That is why it says those that compare themselves with others are fools. Because you should challenge yourself.
Yeah.
You should be better than you were yesterday, not with anybody. You are not competing with anybody. Your race is just like somebody said today. When the end of time comes, it's not going to be you and your husband or your children. It's just you, and you have to answer to it.
Yes. Thank you very much. Please
Yes,
go ahead.
I mean, just to add to that, when these kinds of questions come up, I always think about athletes. I think about people like Serena Williams. I think about Mercy's and Ronaldo's, who, you see, because if you define them as football players, now the game that they are in has a set of rules that forces them to retire after a certain age.
Yes.
Do they stop being purposeful individuals because they've retired, right? So we use the term purpose loosely, and that's why I think we have to be very careful. The purpose is not the job that's being expressed. So who is Serena Williams after she has achieved the pinnacle of the greatest, of all times as a tennis player? Suddenly she's an entrepreneur, right? She's in media, she's doing a lot of things. She's an executive of different, sports companies. So, but if you ask her, she has a way she defines herself that allows her to connect all the years of thrilling the world with tennis, of developing the sport tennis, right? She has a way of connecting that with this new season of her life where she's now in the boardroom, where she's now strategizing, where she's, putting out new products, whether it's, sports products, whether she's, sponsoring inner city communities and inner city children. She's developing a sport, but more importantly, her purpose was to come into the world and show the world that anybody could be anything they wanted to be. This was a black girl in a white sport. That was her purpose. She was supposed to come into the world and shatter the illusion that spaces are gatekept, that spaces are reserved for specific people. That was her purpose. That's why after expressing it through tennis, she's now expressing it through boardroom strategies and different things. What is your purpose will take you in different. That's why we said allow yourself evolve. Yeah. Your purpose will take you to different things, but spend time reflecting. Otherwise, even you yourself, you'll be thrust into confusion. And when you're in confusion, you can't move, you can't act. It's not even about what people are saying about you. You will not be able to summon the energy from within because you're in a state of confusion. Your maker will answer that question for you. Who are you in the world? I am a defender of the voice. Anywhere that I am triggered, that is where I sense voicelessness or disempowerment or oppression, I recognize it. Some people don't recognize it though. Do you know that some people they don't recognize? Some people's antenna are inbuilt, inwired. That's purpose, right? It can take you to law. It can take you to Yoruba language studies. It can take you to history. It can take you anywhere. But there's a core that will define you. That is the task before women. That's the task before us. Otherwise, you allow Nigeria define your purpose for you. And Nigeria is limited because how many careers are we expressing? How many careers? When there's botany, when there's undersea diving, when there's submarines, you see what people are doing with agriculture. What people are doing, if you go to China or go to Russia, you discover, But if you allow the jobs that are already expressed around you, allow your maker tell you who you are. Because the chair cannot start being a table. It's just not possible. But that chair can be an armchair like this. It can be a narrow bench. It can be it can be anything. But its role is to provide opportunity and platform for the individual to rest. Right? Find it. It is the task before you. Whatever your beef, as long as you have not yet met your maker. Find that, answer that question. Sometimes it may take you to women's groups. Sometimes it may take you to men's groups. It may take you anywhere. But wherever it takes you to, you will always recognize who is that person. The identity never shifts, right? And I think that's the task before us.
Thank you very much. You've answered this question perfectly, and I think I understand very well now. Now we move to the next question, still on purpose. Now, this says, is it possible to deviate from purpose? And then how do you find your foot back in purpose? Is it possible for you to deviate? Anybody can answer this. I'm throwing it open. Anybody can answer this. Is it possible for you to deviate from purpose?
Yes.
And how do you find your feet back into purpose?
Yes, it's possible.
Please go ahead.
It's possible. Deviating just means doing something else aside from your purpose.
Then how do you find your feedback?
Number one, God is good.
All the
God
time.
is very good. He's going to, like, another thing that I heard TJ said. He said his son recently graduated from music school. And on the day of graduation, in the night, he said, Daddy, what if I missed it? What if I'm not supposed to go to music school and I'm graduating? And the reply was, if it not it, it will lead to it. Just keep doing something. Keep moving forward. God has a way of beating you back. That's why that scripture makes sense. Say, all things work together for good for those that love the Lord and according to his purpose. It will always see you today now. She went for business school. Somehow, she finds herself back. Out of how many people that came for the interview, she's not even qualified. But because of that divine assignment, there will be an intervention. So yes, we'll miss it. Of course, we'll miss it a lot of times. And that's not a reason for us not to do anything. What is good is that we have a good heart to always want to come back. And guess what? Our dad is always ready to take you back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to the next question because of time and still on purpose. That's the last question on purpose. You've answered part of the questions on the second question, which is finding purpose for everyone? And you said, yes, it is for everyone. Which leads to, why is it important for everyone to find purpose? And is there any disadvantages for not finding purpose? I would like you to answer that, Pastor Mrs.
Like I said, every one of us that is here right now were made by God. We didn't just land here. I think we need to get that. She was trying to paint a picture before. She said, man is made of 3 parts. We are a spirit. We live in this body, and we have a soul. So we need to recognize that. If you lose that, you've lost everything. Because the person that made you, if the purpose of a thing is not known, what? Abuse is inevitable. So first of all, if God made you, I beg, why am I here? So if God made, and you know, let's assume you live 200 years, you're going to die anyway. So what next? The person that sent you here has a purpose. He didn't just drop people randomly. It's not a stupid God. When you see the way the computer works, I'm like, if human brain can do this, you can imagine what God can do. So if God has made you, there's a reason. And guess what? His word is forever sure. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Because he has said it is your duty to find it. So if you miss it, you might still make heaven. But do you know in heaven they talk of crowns? They talk of people that will be in charge of nations. That means there are rewards. So if your parent sent you to school and when you're done, you decide to not do anything with your life, that's just a physical parent. How do you feel? Just physical parent though. You sent your child to school, you gave him all that he needs to do, and when he's done, he just says he wants to stay at home and do nothing. The same thing with our Father in heaven. There is a reason why we're here. Let's find it. Let's find it. If you cannot find it, ask for help. Because you need to find it. And it's not, like she said, it's not a one-way traffic. It's not like you're a lawyer. No. It's that thing you want to achieve. It can be expressed in different ways. It doesn't have to be one thing. Once you find expression and you're able to deliver, you're it. So let's find it. If you believe there is God and you're going to go back one day and see him, then I think you should do what he has sent you here to do.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Sabolua, do you have anything to say to this?
No, yeah, I mean, basically, I believe everybody has. There's a reason, just like what we had said earlier on, everybody cannot be the eye. So it's basically like a team spirit, teamwork. So everybody cannot be the nose of what we are all here together to work together so everybody has their purpose that everybody has to fulfill. And like I said earlier, it's from your core. It can manifest in different ways. So if maybe you think that maybe your daddy feels because he read medicine, wants to read medicine, but you have like the example she gave, she wants to read go a different path. I think if there's dedication to that different path, I think the problem with most young people is, even if you feel like that's not the path you want to go, but most times they're not serious about the next path. Like imagine if you needed to go to fashion designing school, but you're still loafing around and playing, they will never take you serious. So you also need to chase that purpose diligently. There has to be a level of seriousness. Like you said, attend programs. Those things ignite that thing. No, God has deposited fire in everybody, and that fire needs to be ignited. And these are the things that awaken you. You know, a conversation with another woman. You know, you see a book, you read one chapter, like, are you serious? Or, you know, and these things wake up who you are at your core, and you would find purpose. And like it manifests in different ways. It doesn't have to be the same. We all cannot be the president, but then who are we presiding over? Do you understand? So we all have our calling, and I think if we're on that path, that's where, you know, we discover purpose and excel at it.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
I agree with, you know, and Pastor Dukwe and Ebon. I believe totally that everyone has a purpose. Even when you look at it from, like, you know, social sciences, just the design of human society, right? All of society is a cooperative endeavor. In other words, I must rely on the next individual for that which I cannot produce myself, right? When you even go far back to the hunter-gatherer era, when human beings were not organized in modern societies like this, we still, to survive the elements, to survive nature, to survive animals, just to survive, human beings needed to band together. That is why, you know, the earliest groups existed as bands, then we moved to clans, then we moved to what? Villages, and we've just been evolving that way. Man has never traveled alone. The only reason, even from the Bible, the Garden of Eden, God saw that it was not right for man to travel alone. So the essence or the meaning behind that is that somebody must contribute value that the other individual does not possess. The whole term and concept of purpose is just founded on that idea and philosophy that we must cooperate for the things that I cannot possess naturally. You understand? I must look to it in the next individual. So everybody under that design and concept of human society, human evolution, carries a value which we must exchange. It is your responsibility to find it. To the other question of, is it possible to deviate from value? I also want to stress that not acting from purpose, not acting in your purpose is a form of deviation from purpose. So just sitting, you know, docile, at the mercy of another individual, helpless, is a form of deviation from purpose. Because, and again, why must we find it? Because the idea of living an optimal life is directly tied to the idea of purpose. If you separate me from that purpose, I can never live an optimal life. And the human is wired for the pursuit of happiness. That's the intrinsic drive in all of us, is the pursuit of, whether you look at it from all the theories that the psychologists have designed, from the Maslow's to everything, at the top of every pyramid is self-actualization. What is self-actualization? It's fulfillment of purpose. They have nice scientific terms for it. We Christians just call it fulfilling purpose. That is the way the individual is built. There must be something that is your unique value proposition, is your unique identity in the world, your unique contribution in the world. Find it. Therein lies your value. From there will you gain your highest sense of fulfillment. And from there will you derive your highest form of what? Celebration and harmony with all the other members of that same society. If you don't act in it, there's disharmony, there's disequilibrium. Society exists in an imbalance. Underdevelopment occurs. So it's directly tied. If you put people in the wrong careers, if you don't allow people discover their right careers, you will see yourself in underdevelopment. Your society will not reach its zenith in terms of creativity, innovation, invention. So this thing has serious implications for even economic development. It's not just, you know, Christianese we're speaking here. It's development. If the individual is not aligned with their essential being, they can't thrive. They can't give the highest level of value. They're suboptimal. We cannot continue to produce suboptimal people that are sitting at home sorrowing in agony. If only, if only, if only. Or people that are on their jobs, distressed. They can't create on their jobs. They can't be entrepreneurial or intrapreneurial, as we call it. They can't be creative or innovative. they're not in alignment. So all of these things have serious implications for the world as we know it. The right kinds of products we can't access in the market, we are buying from China because we have Africans, people who are not in alignment with purpose. If you're in alignment with purpose, many of the products will get it here. Let us know that the issues are structural. But even if all the structures exist, would we have everybody in their duty post? No. So this is why it is critical, not just for the individual, but for the collective.
I just saw something now.
Okay, please.
And I'm like, this mic, his job is to amplify my voice.
Yes.
Everything in this room is serving a purpose.
Yes.
Everybody
The
was
lights,
lights.
the fan, the AC.
Yes.
How much more human being? There's a purpose for everything. And see our bag. Some people can carry it for beauty. Some can carry it to carry load. So the bag can do several functions. But at the end of the day, there is a purpose.
Yes.
There's nothing that is, even this flower is beautified this place. So
Thank
there's
you
something
very
about
much,
it.
Ma. God bless you for that. A round of applause for the three of them. They've done justice to this question. Now I understand that everyone has a purpose. And everyone needs to find their purpose. It's a must that we find our purpose. Find your identity. Know who you are. Bring who you are to the world. Let the world know what you have to offer. The Bible says, knock and it shall be opened unto you. Seek and you shall find. You know, I mean, even if you don't know how to go about this finding purpose of a thing, you can always look unto God. You can always talk to people around you and let even your friends identify that special thing about you. And I think this has actually not only ministered to me, has touched a lot of things in me today. And I know that henceforth, a lot of things is going to change about finding purpose in me. Now we have to move to finances. Okay, we don't have much time again. The questions are not much yet. We have here that a lot of women are struggling around finding financial independence, finding financial empowerment, and a lot of them don't even know how to go about it. Now, I would like you to explain to me what financial empowerment or financial independence means to you more than just making money. I would like to go with Mrs. Osai first.
Okay, I wanted to. I'm fired up for that question because
Okay,
I
please go
don't
ahead.
remember her name, but the lady that was sitting, was it over here, that gave the testimony about living Akure. Yes, that's an example. Because when you said that, I whispered to my friend. I said the only reason why you could have that liver is because you could financially afford to do it. You can imagine if you needed to make that move. And you need to ask the same man that did not want you to move that, please come and give me the money to move. No. So, Ma, financial empowerment, I was telling her, what did I tell you? Aside even what you can do, leverage is part of it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So that's why when I mentor my younger people, I tell them that, look, life is about leverage. You need to leverage what you have. So people can leverage off their daddy's will money. So you might have a spouse that can empower you. It might be anything, but leverage. So I told her that even if she didn't have it financially, she had the leverage. Because either way, you needed, were you going to come to Badon and stay on the road? you needed to have somewhere pretty set up, at least to give you that start first to know what you're doing. So that's why it is very critical apart from women, for a human being. So like what mommy, Auntie Funshaw said. For me, it is the ultimate. It is the ultimate. No matter, you cannot be asking your husband to go and make money. You go and do your hair now. Azal. You know, I'm not saying that everybody should have the capacity now to have built a multi-million-dollar, but there's some basic needs that it even gives you self-respect. When you know that you can handle some things, and if he wants to give you back later, fine. But you have handled it and you've sorted it out. So whatever it would take, and if it's that you need to find purpose, gain skill, and learn it, please start. And you can start small. Like you heard the lady talking about grants. As she was talking about our first grant of 100K, but you do know that there are grants of $100,000 too. But you start from somewhere. So you need to start from somewhere, recognize that work has to be done. But if you don't have that mindset, if your mindset is, I'm a stay-at-home mom, who says stay-at-home women and moms are not making money? In this our tech age, with once you have a phone that has data and your internet, they're even making some more money than. Yes, they're in billions because they don't even have operational costs to deal with. They're just having to use their sense, have data, put it money out there, and then we are having to deal with staff and generator and diesel, and that one is chopping all the money. It's getting outdated. So please, I'm begging. When I said please, I need to talk, because when you said that was what came to me. That you can do that because you could. Because if you couldn't, how?
Thank you.
You had a plan.
Thank you, Mr. Bulu. I know you're fired up already. I'd like to hear another perspective on this, please. We can go ahead, Mr. Sai.
So, thank you for expanding to say that we're not just talking about money, we're talking about resources. Yes. And so you're thinking about even your networks, you're thinking about, your ideas, capital, your head, your ideas. Anyway, so when I think about financial independence, you see, I just go back to the idea of a farmer. Because imagine me going to the farm and I have to go and borrow hoe and cutlass from the neighboring farmer. That's the way I see a woman who is looking for somebody else to, empower her with money. Because money is a tool. Mm-hmm. The world is a physical world. Mm-hmm. If it was only spiritual, I would just say, I want this. The way God said, let them, and but I exist in a physical world with a means of exchange, right? So for me to advance my goals, solve my problems, right, prosecute my dreams, I must have that tool in hand. If I don't have it, it means I'm condemned to borrowing it or begging for it. I don't want to be a borrower. I don't ever want to be a beggar. That is why, from the minute I consciously understood that this world is defined by those who have that currency of exchange, I made it a point. I tell people I'm a socialist too. I grew up in a university environment in the early 80s, 90s. Which means that this idea of capitalism, Forbes richest under 40, is new. When I grew up, everything was done for us. Light is what do you call it? The university manufactures light. Water, university pumps water. We were not, so I didn't understand money. My parents were not financially literate. They were book literate. My father was a professor, the first archaeologist from Africa. Professors then did not understand money. Because then the world was, to some extent, socialist. There was a combination of, private sector was not controlling Nigeria. It's Obasanjo's deregulation policies, privatization policies that shaped a new era. So when I grew up, I was not trained to appreciate money. But very quickly, and that's the role of anybody in the room, when you want to move from point A to point B, there is a connecting road, Abi. You have to analyze that road. Okay, for that road, for me to move here, I must take transportation, or I must be able to purchase this, or I must acquire skills. All of those things, now money, you must exchange money to acquire it. Abi, that tells you that for you to move in life, you must own capital. You must own capital. It's as simple as that. You must own capital. If somebody owns it, the same way you are going to your boss to beg for increment, that means you have not earned what they call freedom. That's why I like the apprenticeship model. They say freedom. And none of us is truly free. Because to the extent to which you can exercise choice, that is the extent to which you can define your freedom. If you cannot exercise choice today to buy a mansion now, because you just like it in Greece, you just want to live in Greece and enjoy, the nice sunlight, the nice, then you are not free to that extent. Mm-hmm. So to the extent that you define choices and freedom, you must be able to prosecute it yourself. You must be able to pay for it. That is why you must be financially independent. And when you have it as a family person, mothers, it is your responsibility, because, you see, those children, the family is God's smallest unit of production. If the families work, certain kinds of products come into the earth. It is money that accomplishes it. Money that lets them go to the best schools, that lets them have access to the best tutors, that lets them have access to the best kind of exposure, critically opening up their minds. It is money. Unless you show me a world where just by my looks, or just because I smiled well, or just because I say I'm hungry, then things opened up to me. If that world does not exist and money still becomes the currency by which we derive the things we want in life, then go and get it. Do everything possible to acquire capital.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Osai. In the interest of time, I would like to hear from Pastor Mrs. as well, but briefly, please, because of time.
I'll just say that money is the result of the value that you bring to the table. It's as simple as that. If you need money, if you need finances, you need to bring something to the table. So what do you have that you want to exchange for the money that you need? If you tell me you don't have money, it's simple. I know you don't have anything to offer. That's what it means. So look for something you can offer. It can be a service, it can be goods, but there must be something you're bringing to exchange for that money. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Sorry, please, before we go on. To the young, I'm just very passionate about women. Please, if you're young, please don't fall into the trap of your husband saying, I want you to stay at home with the children. Let me work, please. I'm begging you. Don't. I know that we all are in different phases. So yeah, you can decide to pace it and say, okay, during that active pregnancy month, when they are still very young, but please don't fall into that. Don't. It's a trap. And it's a trap because it also won't make you engaged as a woman, mentally stimulated enough to think out of the box. Because if you are not in that, it makes you want to see, there's this way our brain can trick you to think that your kingdom is the ultimate. It's a lie. It's not, even though you're eating 3 square meals, it doesn't mean that's enough. There's people that their own 3 square meal is buffet. Is that what you're eating in your house? You understand? So there's a lot out there, and the moment you don't box yourself into, I'm not saying we should be tyrants and fight your husband, but there's a way, look, every woman should know how to, quote unquote, manipulate her man. You should know how you can handle your man, have those conversations. Wait till when it's okay to have those conversations where the way, people are different. Some people might involve with third party or not. But however how you think would work, have that conversation and have it stick. Like me, when I went into business, no, I was in law, I was in a telecoms. I was poached and went to an oil servicing. So I was head of legal, admin, and HR for a while. But nobody told me that I needed to resign because for that 3 months after that term, my children, hey. I said, because when you're an guy, it comes with responsibilities. Because you're spending all day going for meetings. You're just going to start your own admin work at 5 o'clock. I'm not getting them until 10 o'clock. They are in bed. I've not double-checked their homework. I'm not doing anything. I'm fine the whole term. And from people that were coming first 3, I was in 12. As how. So when my husband called and said, babe, we need to talk. I was already guessing. And I was like, this new job. And I was like, say no more. Even myself, I don't like it. I want to be there for my kids. But then what he said that I countered was, hey, don't worry, what I earn will be enough for me. I was like, It's good. I know that you're a dutiful father. I appreciate that, but I'm not sitting at home. I'm going to wait and look for something that at my own pace I will do, and it's from my core, and that's where I found. So please don't sit at home, please. I'm watching African Magic and all those dead things, please.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for them. Now we're going to be rounding up this session, and I would like to call on our audience to participate in this conversation now. So if you have any question that has to do with purpose, finding purpose, or financial independence, now is the time to ask. Because of our time, we'll not be able to take too much questions. So if you have any question, can you please signify by raising up your hand? Any question, please? Okay, please. You're welcome.
Very well with what Pastor Mrs. Ojelabi said, that you went to study accounting. I'm sure in your business that accounting studies. My work. So you can't tell me that I own a school. My first degree is French and Spanish. My second degree is law. I've been running a school for 32 years. I'm a better school owner because I did French and Spanish. I'm a better school owner because I'm a lawyer. So please, because young people think that education is a scam. So I'm speaking up now that education is not a scam. whether you do business admin, it's going to work. I'm a lawyer, I never did business. I'm now paying money to go to business school. So, I mean, there's no knowledge that is wasted. I've come here, all of you are younger than me. I've learned a lot from all of you. And it's because we all have different paths. So please, young people, education is not a scam. If you don't have education, you can't get very far in anything. And education doesn't mean being in the four walls. Education everywhere. This is education. So please don't knock whatever your parents... At that time, you didn't know what you wanted anyway. Because a lot of people... I wanted to be an ambassador. And I just thought, okay, I'll go and do French and Spanish. And that doesn't make you an ambassador. Then I wanted to be a lawyer, and I wanted to be saving people on death row. My dad took me to Yagoku to go and see the armed robbers. And said, these are your clients. Oh yeah, Madam Superwoman, want to change the world. You know, so we have, and we evolve. So please don't knock education. I'm always speaking out for education because a woman that goes to primary school will make sure that her children go to secondary school. A woman that goes to secondary school will make sure that her children have a university degree. A woman that has a PhD, her children will have postdoctorate. So please, women, be educated, be informed. Your children will be healthier. You will know when to take the vaccinations. There are so many studies on being educated. We don't have to be one path. Everything that we have learned comes together when we find our purpose. Thank you.
Okay, ma. Can I advocate for Pastor? Let me help you as your lawyer.
Okay.
Auntie Funsho, I think what Pastor meant was, Auntie Funsho, hi, Auntie. Yeah, so I just want to respond to, I want to believe what you meant. So, Auntie, you know that in the current situation now, in 2026, the fashion design school, if I want to use an exact example, will not be just an Abele school. It's structured. They're going to have courses on business administration. They're going to have courses on financial management. They're going to have courses on administrative. So it's going to be like a holistic, probably 3-year, 4-year school as well, but just that the highlight of the school will be fashion design. So I want to believe that that's what she meant, that instead of that lady's daughter just going to go and read business admin end to end for 4 years, she could as well go to a standard fashion design school and also learn business administration in the process, financial management in the process, human resource in the process, and all of that together. I want to believe that's what you meant.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes, and in addition, I just want to say something. I actually finished accounting. It's not as in that, but what I'm trying to draw a line with the definition of education.
Of what education is, yes.
People feel education is lawyer, doctor,
so many things.
Engineer. Whatever vocation you want to do, get educated on it. So if I did not go to a fashion school and I end up being an accountant, I'll be miserable, personally, because I'm not the type that can sit
numbers.
I can't. But I'm very good with numbers, which was why I got admitted. I'm very good with mathematics, which I'm also using right now. I made a statement that TDJ said, don't put a full stop where God put a comma. I'm actually using that accounting to work in my business. The line we're drawing now is you going to study doctor, be a doctor for 7 years, when you know in your heart you are not interested. What you want to be is a lawyer. Then after 7 years, you pack the certificate, then you now start pursuing law. That is exactly what I'm saying. It's not as if we're playing down on education. Not at all.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope Auntie too has understood exactly. Yes. Thank you very much. Is there any other question? Okay, please.
So not exactly a question. I just want to add to the education conversation. And I think what we're seeing is the fact that people are expected to go to school for maybe 4 or 5 years. If you look at the US system, for instance, if you want to be a musician, opera singer, something like that, Juilliard is one of the best schools. Yes. But you don't get to go to Juilliard from secondary school or from high school. Yeah. You have to go to college first and then go to Juilliard. So I think the issue is the fact that we might have 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, but if we had something that is maybe 2 years, 3 years, because education teaches you how to think. And in a fashion design school, they might have all these courses, but it's still boxing you
We're
in.
talking about Yaba College of Technology. It's a regular standard school. You go and serve. You do everything that every other person does.
What I'm saying is the fact that the point of education, foundationally, is to teach you how to think, right? I went to UI long time ago, but I went to UI, and 100-level students, like you said, take all the courses, both humanities, math, physics, all of that, before you then go and specialize, right? But the problem, I think, is the educational system in Nigeria. And what rather than say, oh, okay, well, let's people go to their core, what I think we need to be doing is advocating for the system to change in order to empower people. For instance, we also need to have guidance counseling programs in secondary school so that people can identify what their gifts are, identify what their talents are, and identify potential careers, and then know where to go to school in order to do that. So we need to advocate for improvement in the educational system, just like Auntie Fusho was saying. Many people think education is a scam. Many people think students or that school is a scam. In fact, there was a program I went to, a school, Baptist High School or something, was celebrating 170 years. And one of the reporters there asked a question, because she was a Gen Z person, and she said, oh, we think school is a scam. And all of that. But that's a general thing, because that's the message that we're sending. To say, oh, going to school goes beyond lawyer, doctor, engineer. There's so many different options. So we shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. What we need to do is identify what needs to change, and then advocate in our spaces to say, what can we do in our spaces to help improve the system?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that contribution. We have come to the end of the program. I want to say a very big thank you to all our panelists. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, for your experience, your honesty, and your presence as well. There's no time.
Please, I have something to advise my younger women to quickly before we go. I know that there's something about everybody wanting to be an entrepreneur, but I don't believe that. I don't believe everybody can be a successful entrepreneur. There are some people that are designed to be team players. Without them on your team as an entrepreneur, that your vision will not. So I believe that we should look inwards and decide what works for you. Like, I have 3 sisters. I'm an entrepreneur. I worked first and I became an entrepreneur. She has already known from the jump that, look, this is not for me, and she's excelling. So what I mean is, don't think, like, part of the purpose, don't think that because everybody around you is doing business, so I must look for the business, even if it's out to do chinchi. You might just excel in the normal 9 to 5 and be excellent at it. Any room that works, everybody knows that if this lady is there, I want her, she's excellent. Exactly. So I just want to quickly say that, because there's that tendency that, oh, everybody must do business. No, it's not for everybody.
Thank you so much, Mrs.
Thank you.
Ebolua.
Thank you.
Thank you to the audience. Thank you for staying through this panel session. We are really excited to have you here. And also, I believe you are not just going to be leaving here with your notes alone. You are going to be leaving here with clarity and more inspiration. For someone in hospitality, all through my years in hospitality, there's this thing that we know for sure, which is a successful hospitality business is not built on convenience. It is built on consistency. So when you are finding purpose, growth, and building financial independence, you apply the same formula to it. That is, you have to be disciplined and intentional about everything you do. Thank you for staying through this session. I remain Oluwakemi Olushola, and it's an honor moderating this panel discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Oluwakemi, Sister Idem, Sister Eboluwa, Silk and Purple. We love you all. Thank you. We love you. You have shined so much light on what you have spoken to us today. Thank you. This section is going to be a quick one, but it is part of the major why this gathering is planned. I want us to, this section is a section of healing. There are a lot of things you might be going through that you can't tell to anyone. There's a community where you can say, I belong here. We are together to be together. So we are to break out into section, but because there's no time, and it's going to be a quick one. So sometimes I would not like to use the mic. If we want to make it personal, but the time we have is just 20 minutes. 15 minutes now, because it's reducing as I speak. So please, if there's anything you're going through, you feel you want to discuss, you want to get someone, you want to say it out, you want to write it, you cannot even say it, you want to just write it. It's a time to pray together and see God intervene in that situation. So please, you can write it out. And before we go, there's like a raffle draw for everyone. There's a gift for you. And there's a gift for you. Let's appreciate our mommy. She gave us mommy, what should I call it? The plant that you can use for your health. Please jam your hands together for her. It's thoughtful of her. She felt, these are women, beautiful women, need to just get this plant for your health and for one thing or the other. So I want us to share it because I can see people going, and I don't want them to miss out of the gift we have for them. So now I just want us to thank the Lord for this program. This section is going to be prayerful. Let's just thank the Lord for how far He has brought us. We can of our own self do nothing. He's been faithful to us. I'm telling you, a man of God said he organized a crusade and all the rest of it. And he just saw that he's only one person that gave his life to Christ. He was like, it's not fruitful. But that one man, in the next like 5 to 6 years, he became a strong evangelist that he pulled people to his kingdom, to God's kingdom. So I'm not saying that this number is a seed to outside world. Please, whatever thing you're going through that you feel you want to talk about or you want to write it out so that we'll pray with you, I wouldn't mind you do that. Father, we thank you. We give you praise, Jesus. You are God all by yourself. Maligataya, Libradabaro Shataya. We look up to you, God, for our home, for our family, for the work of our hands. A lot of people go through struggle in their daily living. Father, we pray today that your healing hand begin to rest upon us. In the name of Jesus. Masuteke libaradadoshke letianaya. Maribabado sataya. Father, we rest on you today. We put down everything that seems to be pulling us back. We surrender all, God, today. Maribado sataya. Marikando libradabado sataya. Majeledoske liata. We worship you. We give you praise. Much more than we could ever think or imagine you're going to be doing in our businesses, in our homes. I'm telling you, as women, if your home is in chaos, there's no way you can be 100% focused. I've been there. So I'm not telling you out of inexperience, but you just kept on praying for your home instead of you to do better things. I want us to begin to pray that, Lord, heal us. In our business, establish us. This is financial independency. Lord, help me to be independent. Help me to not struggle for daily living. Father, let me be able to speak out. Masuteli karadabado shataya. Many women, they are dying in pain. They are looking for who to just talk to. Mavi sotaya libarado shataya. Lord, heal us. We surrender all. We surrender all. We surrender all. From all these people that have spoken, you have seen someone you can say, no, I think I have the same calling, the same purpose. You can just say it out. Meet with us. Meet with them. That's just, you cannot be alone. You cannot grow in isolation. You cannot make it alone. So please be free in his presence and say, God, speak to me. Direct me to the way I should go. I don't want to do this alone. Women helping women. I'm telling you, I had an issue and it was just a woman just said, this thing you're going through, I can help you out. And that solves it. I'd already wanted to turn back and say, no go area. Nothing can be done through this. But God is faithful. So that's just it. God has been faithful to us. Masutenda libradabado shataya. Heal us, oh God. Father, we thank you. We give you praise today. You are beautiful beyond description. Heal us, oh God. Heal us, oh God. We don't want to be on a spot, but we want to succeed. We want to move ahead. We want to be who you have created us to be. We don't want to struggle too long. It is discouraging. But your healing hand is able to make us become who we are. We thank you, oh God. We worship you because you are more than able. You are our creator. You created us so you know what we need per time. Father, we thank you. We give you praise, oh God. You are more than enough. Why don't you commit that thing? There's a healing rain in this atmosphere tonight. Why don't you commit that thing you want him to just intervene in now? Just say it and say, God, help me. I can of my own self do nothing. I'm even tired of doing it all alone. I call on you, oh God. Have your way in my home, in my family, in my career. Father, we pray have your way. In the name of Jesus. Every secret pain, every secret crying, every secret depression, I pray that you will heal us. In the name of Jesus. Marabado setaya, libradada. We pray, oh God, that you have your way in our lives. In the name of Jesus. Over our children, we will not cry over them. Over our husband, they will know the right thing to do. In the name of Jesus. Father, we thank you. Our husband will never be our enemy, but we will see the devil that is walking through them. And we pray that they will not have their way, the devil will not have his way over our homes in the name of Jesus. Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 17 says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal of thy wound. Every wound is healed in the name of Jesus. Said, come unto me, all ye that are labor and heavily laden, and I will give you rest. We receive rest tonight in the name of Jesus. He lets the broken in heart and bindeth up their wound. Father, we thank you because our wounds are banded up. Our wounds are healed through him. Father, we thank you. We give you praise tonight. And say, be thou exalted, Lord, in Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord. Jam your hands together tonight. Jam your hands together tonight. If you have really gained a lot, just jam your hands together tonight. See, this program might be next year if you promise me to invite your friends and loved ones, because this is a well-planned program that but we see that you did not do your marketing. It's not good. You alone wanted to enjoy this alone by yourself. It's not good. So thank you everyone that made it a day. And Mommy was thoughtful to bring this for us. And another section that we will be doing, you have been giving numbers. You have been giving numbers. Let's welcome Sister Bidemi as she anchors this segment.
Thank you. Good evening, church. It has been an awesome time, and I hope we've all gained from today's program. So to wrap it off, we have a small gift to give back, just to say thank you for coming. So I'll be picking from these baskets. So I'll call out the number, and if you are lucky to have the same number, then you come up here to get something as a token to say thank you. So let's start. So the first number picked is number 19. Thank you. Thank you. So let's move further. I have number 29. I don't know why 999 is coming up. Thank God she's around. Please come up. Where's the number? Oh. We need to be sure. Yes, it's 29. Please come and have your gift. So, the third number is number 8. 8. Is the person stealing? Gone. Number 10. Ah? Thank you for coming, ma. Thank you, ma. So, moving on, number 3. Eh? Mrs. Kalawale, can I have it? Thanks for coming. Number 15. This is Obialo. Just a token to say thank you. Yes, 15. Moving on, number 21. 21. Now I'm safe, Abby. So I have number 2. Number 2. Are you the one? Thank you. I'm happy it's going to an invited guest. Thank you. Thanks for coming. I have number 12. 12. We have someone coming with it. Thank you. Number 5. Thank you. Please, you can go to that one. Thanks for coming. Number 13. 1 and 3. Do you know why I'm smiling? I want the invited guests to benefit more. And thank God it's happening. Thank you. Thanks for coming. 22. Going? Mrs. Angela. Okay, we have just 2 left. So, number 27. No, we have one more. Thank you. Thanks for coming. So the last number is number 30. 3 and 0. You. Wow. So that's just a token to say thank you for coming. And you never can tell, by next year, we may give you, yes, cars, yes. Or we give you landed properties. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate you coming around. We are not taking this for granted. And the next section for this program is couple and singles dinner. It's happening by 5 p.m. If you can still book your ticket if you want to be part of it. It's going to be anchored by Paitowa, Reverend Ogun Lano, and his beautiful wife, Bosade Ogunlano. So please stay around if you want to be part of it. This room is going to be transformed within a twinkling of an eye. And you see dinner happening.